Welcome everyone to the final RGL cast of the season. We got Froyotech, we got Witness Gaming, and this is the grand finals of RGL Invite 6's Season 7. My name is Jarrett, and I'm here with Space Ghost, and we have quite the game, or set of maps actually, ahead of you guys in this BO5. It's got a lot of familiar maps. We're going to go into the first one in a bit. I'll go ahead and mention that it is going to be Bagel. It's a lot of Bagel that's played this playoffs, but nonetheless, between these two teams, only one is going to be crowned the victor at the end of the day and take home the prize, while the loser will quote-unquote go home with second place. Space, we got quite the night ahead of us. Are you prepared for it?
I am extremely prepared. I am ready. I'm excited to see these two teams play. We have a really good map pool. It's very exciting, and I'm very glad we're playing Bagel right off the bat. Definitely a great map to start off on, considering how many really good, just entertaining matches we've seen. And I'm sure this one's not going to be just as entertaining, if not more.
Yeah, it's I don't think I've seen one disappointing match of Bagel yet in like its addition into the map pool. Almost every single, maybe like spare one if the teams are really lopsided. Even then, if there is any little ounce of competitiveness between the two teams, you were in for a treat of a match. And I expect nothing less tonight, especially after the playoffs runs that Bagel has had throughout the multiple playoff teams that have been, picking it and having that be the map they live or die on. But you can see the rest of the map pool up on the screen. We have Bagel be first, Metalwork, Simeon X, and if needed, would be going to Granary and then Snakewater. Froyotech has a one map advantage. That is their, I guess, the reward for going undefeated through the upper bracket, while, Witness had to go through the lowers. But, I mean, Witness, they were in this position before, and they won last season. They are the defending champions, so, despite the one map advantage, we could still have quite the series ahead of us, and it could go the distance depending on how things go. Might have a repeat of what happened last time, going to all four maps. You never know.
That's true. You never know. And do we want to go on the rosters? Just real quick.
That's probably for the best. I mean, there might be a couple of people that, haven't necessarily been with us throughout the entire journey. I will go ahead and go over the roster of the defending champion. That is Witness Gaming. We have Yite and Brandslam on Scout, Laz and Ash on Soldier, Artis on Demo, and Logai on Medic.
And for Froyotech, we have Slimdish and Banny on Scout, Mirrorman and Jay on Soldier, Habib on Demo, and May on Medic. And those of you who may not have joined us since last grand finals might see that Witness Gaming has stayed the same, but Froyotech changed up their roster this season, brought back some familiar faces and some new faces.
Yeah, and it's definitely proved results. They are set themselves as the upper, I don't know how to say it. I guess they're with the first seed going into playoffs, but now because they've won, upper bracket, they've got themselves this map advantage. It's a very nice cushion to deal with. You only really need to win the two maps, the same as a BO3 if you're the side of Froyotech. Just two. That's it, and you're good to go. But Witness got 3 out of the 4 they need to win, which they've done before, but it's not an easy feat. You don't want to be in that position, but here they are. So starting off in Bagel, I guess we'll go ahead and see what happens. Like we said before, we prefaced our familiarity with Bagel this season. I'm sure everyone else has been familiar just watching with us throughout its playtime. It's real back and forth. The team can start off in the lead, and all of a sudden the gear switches and things turn the tables on us, and we are in for quite the match, going to maybe like 4-3 territory depending on where the teams lie. And that's actually the result that we saw last time these two teams played in upper bracket. Witness Gaming's have had some other matches. I mean, it's been played every single playoff match, I'm pretty sure, so they've also had their upper round 1, as well as it was played in lower bracket as well. So, I mean, you've seen both these teams kind of adjust their play style, try to figure out as a viewer what you can expect when you see a team roll up to Bagel and trying to open up with a real strong start out of the gate. So, I mean, I guess we can go ahead and talk a little bit about Bagel before we go into some other stuff. What do you expect to see out of either one of these teams, Space, given what we've seen so far throughout this playoff journey?
Well, I think we've really seen teams kind of have an evolution on Bagel in terms of how they play. Like, I remember last season in Grand Finals, both teams really didn't like to use Uber that much. They'd really try to edge the point and try to take it without using. And I feel like this season, we've definitely seen them be much more willing to just take, like, really Chad exchanges kind of into the enemy spawn when they don't even have the point capped. So it's definitely I think we've seen a change in strategy. I don't know how much of a change we'll see here. That's kind of, up to the two teams. But I'm sure Witness Gaming, they did almost win last time on Bagel. It was a 4-3 or 3-4 or 4-3, like you said, but I'm sure they have some new chapters in the playbook to use it against Froyotech.
If you think about the longevity of both these teams, I mean, for the most part, the teams haven't changed too much, even if you go all the way back to last season's grand finals. It's not too much of a real change for the rosters, maybe like one or two people, but for playstyle, it certainly has changed. Froyotech went from a team that, from a third-person perspective, kind of looked like they were a team that were somewhat neglecting abusing the flanks, turning into a team where now all of a sudden they're just shoving their entire team into one of the flanks and trying to get someone behind at all costs. While the side of Witness Gaming were very heavy on never using your Uber, doing tons of sacks nonstop, even when you wouldn't necessarily expect a sack to happen. It could be a normal, you could have normal incentive to do some sort of dry fight, and they would just opt not to for the surprise factor and the faster respawns, to just try to always have Uber at. And now they've swapped away from that towards a playstyle that it seems a little bit more traditional in terms of setting yourself up for what's about to come and trying to play a spam game and take your fights accordingly, not just going for a surprise sack and things like that. And we've seen some close, matches from all the teams, but I guess if you think about it, Witness Gaming, this seemed like it was their map, really, for the longest time. And they're still a team that is willing to pick it, but it doesn't seem like it's as dominant. It goes back to how you see other matchups throughout the years, or I guess not years, but throughout this season and all the other teams playing, where they can start to get close, other teams, against Witness. And Froyotech proved it. Go ahead and I think Witness picked the map and Froyo beat them on it. So it definitely showed that it doesn't matter that you guys are picking your comfort map, because we will find a way to edge out a victory. So now we always talk about halftime adaptation, but this is a long, week-to-week adaptation where we get to see how Froyotech adjusts, as well as how Witness Gaming comes back, picking this map again, and see how they make sure that their 4-3 loss is maybe instead a 4-3 victory this time around.
Yeah, it definitely shows that even if they lost last time, they still feel comfortable in just the fundamentals of the map, and they know maybe it's big changes, maybe it's kind of small, kind of micro changes, but in the end of the day, they feel like this is still their map to lose, or at least at minimum, it's a 50-50. So they should feel pretty confident going into there. I think Froyotech in general this season, maybe not Froyo, but I think Witness in general just have been terrifying on Koth, because I think Froyotech's first ban was actually clear cut on other King of the Hill maps, so definitely Froyotech didn't want to play him on that one, so Bagel was really a better option.
Yeah, well, we are going to be going live soon. The teams have readied up. We're about to get into the roll. It's not too much longer left, and it's time to talk predictions. Everyone's been predicting, but last second, what do you think is going to happen on Bagel?
I'm in for the long haul, so I'm going to say 4-3 Witness Gaming.
I think it's going to be 4-3 Froyo again, but either way, I think we can both agree we are in for quite the game immediately. Both teams setting up. Froyotech taking over the left-hand south, once again pushing it all the way through. Jay's behind. Gonna lose Mirrors. That's one player down on their initiation. Slim trying to escape. Jay is caught behind as well, so gonna end up dying. Habib extremely weak, and it seems like their play of just shoving the flank was immediately caught, and seeing the caught. No, Bandy able to make his way out, so Witness Gaming, it seems like they've kind of read what Froyotech is having out of the gate as their plan A and are able to take this mid, but with both medics left alive, Froyotech, they're looking for an initiation, try to work their way through. Mirrorman makes the space, and the rest of the team starting to bust their way through these doors.
Yeah, Lokai actually built that very well. Had a small 20% advantage. That's, not really an actual advantage, gonna go to waste, but on that note, we do have Froyotech. It looks like they're electing to go for a push. Jay gonna try to go for a flank pressure as Bandy tries to cap. I believe that's the play. Slim's actually everyone full scented, and they're gonna get a lot of kills, and they get the force, so mission accomplished.
Yeah, taking a page. It's kind of funny because this is one thing I forgot to mention. That is kind of a play that Witness Gaming used to do forever. There's even Ubers doesn't matter. We don't care if it's even incentive. Just go ahead and sack, get perma Uber at him. They're doing that before, and they're doing it now. May found his way out, has 100% ad to work through these doors. There's a forward hold up for the side of Witness Gaming. They're kind of getting close to some of these doorways and trying to lock them out the best they can, but Froyotech is able to bust through. They are going to use the Uber to try to get some space as much as possible, chasing down the scouts and soldiers, but so far, everyone is hightailed out of it. No kills, just a little bit of damage on Ash, but he will be all right.
Here comes a bomb from Jay.
He's going to bomb at the side of Jay. Popped up in the air, is going to fall, so 1-for-1 trade at the end of the day. It's not too much more than a little bit of room. Missed arrow, but that's a lot of damage really quickly, and even more so onto Slim, getting that pick. Only 3 left alive. Habib very low, has to be careful. Ash balding in from the side, getting on May, missed surf, a lot of damage onto them. He will get cleaned up by the sound of Artisan. May caught in the corner, unable to pop up the props of the bomb from Mirror, making sure that Logai is caught off guard. And although Witness Gaming is able to win this fight, at what cost? They lose their medic.
that was such a massive play from Pyramid. That was a total abject disaster from Froyotech initially, and then at the very end there, everyone kind of went to go chase May just a little bit too far, and Mirrorman is able to salvage and get Guy with 97% Ubers. So that's a bit of a tilter there, and that kind of like brings Froyotech straight back into the game.
Yeah, now they're in a position where it's actually feasible for them to maybe get some time back on the clock in their favor, immediately shutting the right-hand side of the house, putting Loga in a corner, unable to escape for now, but there's a lot of weak damage, looping around trying to get one of the packs, but Mirrorman gets 3 with 1 rocket. I guess they all wanted that pack, and immediately after the 3 kills, they just wipe all the way clean. Habib is the only casualty in that setup, looked clean.
Yeah, I think you'll trade a Habib for 6 players. That's a pretty good trade in a Froyotech actually gonna elect to delay this cap to delay spawns, or they're delaying it still, I guess. Alright, well, they're delaying Witness Gaming spawns, but Witness Gaming had the point. Who knows?
Oh, I guess it messes with the spawns. But either way, they do have Uber, they do have somewhat of a forward hold. They kind of see where Witness Gaming is trying to bust through. The soldiers have made a little bit of space. Our own backup. Slim, though,
Slender's gonna die instantly.
Too aggressive, yeah. Immediately melted by the soldier classes. And Laz, up to 4 HP, has to be careful, will find his way out. So they still have this one player advantage to work with, but Jay is behind, ready to cut them off if Froyotech decides to pull the trigger, although...
They're gonna chase Jay, actually.
They're chasing him a little bit.
I don't blame them, too, because they already have to kind of waste time. They can't just instantly walk in and start, doing stuff. So making sure you kill Jay there is kind of something you have to do in that situation. And Slunish are going to take a bit of damage there, some spam from Artist. And Guy's actually built his Uber up all the way to 100% to now even Ubers. Last is going to fall in the side house. Yet going to trade out that kill with Jay, so pretty good trade. Whereas Gaming is going to be on the worst end of that, though, with the worst respawns.
Yeah, they get the cap, so it's going to extend Laz's spawn just a little bit. Even Ubers on both sides, immediately pushing it over onto their left-hand side of the house, able to clean up Yite. Going to lose Mir for it, though. Ash on the rebound, and Artist popped up into the air. Very weak, and that unable to, like, not having your dome in there's just enough room. But speaking of not having your dome in there, where's any other player next to Guy? Dropped her red HP, will finally pop, trying to run forward, getting some hit onto V, but the damage will come out to make sure that this Uber will get popped. Oh, almost a Mark Garter, but still a kill onto Artist. So gonna lose your dome in there. Brantam trying to flank a lot of damage onto May. Might try to loop around and see if he can get the kill, but Jay is on top of that, as well as V, making sure that kill is cleaned up. Just one player left for the side of Witness Gaming, still around. A scout luring and Yite will clean up by the side of Banny. And yeah, he's free to taunt. He knows there's no other threat in sight.
For so long. He was a little bit of beef, I would say. They're gonna get Mirrorman though, so at least they are able to get that trade. And Mirrorman with the 18-second respawn, not gonna be in the game for a while. No, Beam gonna fall too, which is kind of Witness Gaming needed to get back into this game and get this point capture, because now they're down 2 spam classes.
Yeah, 64 is a lot of. Oh, I'm about to cast a curse this by saying it's a lot of breathing room, but Laz jumping into the house, finding 2 that he didn't expect, immediately capping this and extending his spawn accidentally. So immediately, tables have turned. Froyotech, they've lost the point, but now they have some room, and I've cast a curse again. Banny will fall. So yeah, nice trap from Artist, bring this back to an even scenario in terms of the players. Both teams have Uber if they decide to use it. Jerry trying to get some positioning on the point. Immediately, all of Froyotech is rushing forward. Immediately, Clay, Team 2, Ash and Yite will fall. So only 4 players left on the side of Witness Gaming to use this Uber if they so desire. But so far, they're holding strong. Just tiptoeing across. Might have a flank from Jay if they're not too careful, though. The cap will go in favor of Froyotech. So we're going to have a little bit of a shortened respawner time getting back on top of things. Artists drop low, have to back up a bit, so they have to stop with their pursuit of the recapture, but the reinforcements have arrived, and they still have this Uber all this time. I can only imagine it's only a matter of time before it's eventually used, with both teams having under 30 seconds.
The full set.
Oh, here's the sack. May popped up in the air. They're going to lose 3, but that is their intention, and I guess Yite's buying some time a little bit. Maybe even it's a 1v1.
He wins that.
Oh, a little bit of damage on the Slim, but not quite enough. But going for a very last-minute sack. They got overtime, I guess.
Yeah, as long as they get through these doors, they should be okay. The question is, can Froyotech stuff these doors long enough that Witness can't get back in? And Witness actually going to already make this way through the door. They know they have to get to the point. They're actually going to pop on the point, but they do have the point time here, so they are going to live in this round a bit longer. What is this Uber?
They cleaned up the backline. They lost Artist, but Guy falling at the very tail end of things. 3v3 scenario. They're not going to have a medic for the side of Witness Games. They definitely have to burst out here. And oh, Ash just barely living with 2 HP. Brand Slam and Ash need to make sure they play very smart. They can't extend their spawns too long, but they need to get on this cap. Eventually, too many Froyotech players are respawning and arriving, so the timing has to be perfect. People are starting to return.
Taking down.
Yeah, setting up some traps. The overtime is saving Witness Gaming, at least for now, but for the longevity of things, because Froyotech does own this point, if they lose anyone, it is much longer respawn. This is actually beginning to be in Witness Gaming's favor. They have Ash behind. He's able to pinch, but Yite's going to fall. They're trying to bomb into Jade even now, but it's just going to end up in Laz falling as well. Immediately, the crumble starts to happen in Witness Gaming, unable to run across the point. It is just Guy and Artist, and they will eventually fall in Froyotech. fighting against the odds there at the very tail end of that, or to making sure that they start off strong with a lead in Bagel 1-0.
Yeah, another nail-biting round, almost double overtime, and I don't disagree with the decision there from West Gaming at the end, but definitely did not work out in their favor. How do you feel about that one?
Just a very small execution, not able to sync up quite enough and put out the damage to make those kills are collected. They went so far and barely got anything, if anything at all, but round reset, gonna see what happens this time around on the next mid.
Yeah, both teams here electing to just go for spam, no immediate bombs like last bit from Froyotech, so they're gonna take their time, post up, Habib eating a bit of spam as they seem to be coordinating on that, like the top of those stairs. There's even like a rogue sticky just kind of at the top, and then here comes actually Froyotech electing to go for some house pressure. They do have their flank in, but they're gonna get pretty much instantly vaporized. Remember trying to go for a bit of salvage, not gonna get anything.
Chase, Banny on him, takes the pack.
The head
with the melee, he's just 22 HP. Oh, that was even actually one. Okay, that was almost very, very disastrous.
Well, guys, sending out the question mark there, and that's definitely the psychological impact question mark. Although Vanny hard men to tilt in a match environment. Well, on that note, though, Froyotech are gonna try to push out lower left here. They don't have Uber quite yet. They're gonna have to wait a little bit. Actually, it's just the Froyo flank that's top left. Looks like the rest of Froyo is kind of lingering in top right lobby.
Yeah, they have this tool to use now. It looks like they maybe want to go immediately exchanging. They're starting to back up a little bit, trying to milk as much as possible. Bandy gonna get dropped, not connected with May, and it looks like they're just using the Uber to full send over to Logai, popped in the corner, but will eventually have to pop, and with good call too, because he eventually got piped by Habib. There's only Slem left alive in the backline. He's gonna find a flashed scout, and Artist will make sure that he saves his friend of Yite and able to clean up that kill. And I guess they just wanted to use the Uber and immediately just go in to get whatever kills they can, because Annie went really deep without May committing, and immediately afterwards, I guess maybe the projectile class just soaring himself in was a salvage attempt, but at the end of the day, this spam
Jay
on this
is
door.
so hurt.
The spam on this door immediately cleans up Jay. That is not the start you want out of the side of Froyotech if you want to bust through these doors. But Witness Gaming, they're still holding on. I mean, they have to be careful though. They can't be too aggressive here because they're going to accidentally feed a little bit to Habib. But Habib that ends up dying, not beamed by May, a little too far forward, and Witness Gamer is still holding strong on to this point.
Yeah, Habib tried to get forward,
and
Slem just gonna fall too. Yeah,
it's a crumble.
This is a disaster.
It's a complete
oh
crumble.
My God.
It's just May. I mean, I guess if you're gonna have one player left alive at the end of that for Froyo, you're happy that it's May because you get your Uber, but still, that's a lot of time wasted. Look at the clock.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a really dominant showing from Witness Gaming there. First they stuffed the doors back to back, and then they managed to get a Habib pick into a pretty much full team wipe except for the medic, And now Froyotech, again, last time were in this situation, they had to pop through the door just to get out, and they might have to feel they do the same way again. And they're gonna get Slem just off of pipe spam.
He just died to pipe spam. What is happening? He got hurt over on the flank and tried to go for heals, and Artist Pipe Sam just catches him, and then immediately no scouts on the field. I don't even see what Bandy died to. I guess it was just a normal trap.
Yeah, it was just a trap that Artist delayed the death too, I think, or and trying to get forward. But regardless, Froyotech getting hard locked out of this round. They're gonna have to really have a kind of a miracle hold here, and they had to pop just to get through the traps. Artist still
Artist melted. They're not
still
gonna
trading Artist for the Uber.
No, I mean he wasn't really in position, so they couldn't really save him. They're kind of forced into this position. Try to pop for the for anything you can on the side of Froy, but Logai can't save him in that position. They do have full ad to work with. Got some chasing classes too if Froyotech gets too deep, so now you're in a pickle. Does May commit and potentially give up his life if things get too dicey to heal his teammates, or do they, just kind of ball in on the point and risk their health and maybe even die if they take a little bit too much? Scouts trying to take some damage. Yeah, I mean,
Kenny died instantly. Oh no.
That's the thing. You commit for the cap, but you are unable to get the heals because May does not want to commit there and die to an eventual Uber. So it just means the Banny dies for it. Gonna lose. Actually gonna use Yite. So it's actually what is happening? Froyotech just getting on top of the point without even May committing, and they're able to find this. I mean, it's cost a little bit, but still, it's something. They're able to get this cap, which is something good for them. May almost has as well. So this should have been a much worse position for the side of Froyotech. But Witness Gaming, they're still probably feeling comfy. Look at the clock. They do have an Uber to work with. They do have a pick in Mirror Man being dead and rolling out, and Artist is trying to get onto the point and putting so much damage on a Banny. Flank coming from the side of Froyotech. Slem and Jay working the way in. Banny is going to fall, but they're able to... Actually, no, that's Jay falling, and probably even Slem is praying Slem chasing down into the house. The rest of the Froyotech players are trying to get onto this point, but the Ubers still aren't used yet. Fling from last, the Uber will finally come out from the side of May. Going to be able to get Mirror Man on the back line. The Uber is coming out from the side of Witness Gaming. He's all chasing down as many players as possible. 25% better Uber. Habib popped up into the air.
He's actually living for quite a long time.
Yeah, he's living a bit. Not quite enough though. Gonna be able to lose him, and Artist surfing backwards, eating some damage, just still staying alive. The cap time and the favorable. This is somewhat favorable for Froyotech until that happens. Holy levitation! Yeah, this is yeah, a little too late. They got the overtime, they got the better respawner, but it's still not quite enough. I can only imagine. Yeah, Bandy not be able to get the point in time. And Witness Gaming, they flipped things around. That honestly, the first like 90 seconds of that round felt like a total wash.
That was the most dominant round of Bagel I've seen in as long as I can remember from like two, like very good invite teams. That also looked like the way Witness Gaming used to play this map back in old Grand Finals, where they just didn't pop Uber. That was like, I haven't seen that from them, and I feel like the last 2 times I've seen them on Bagel, but they definitely did not want to pop Uber. They had the point there, so I'm getting flashbacks.
Yeah, Froyotech couldn't really find their footing, but immediately they're just going in. They're going for the sack play, but Log, kind of saw it. He's going all the way back near the cap, but oh, don't go through that door. Immediately rushing through the house, able to collect that kill, but they've lost so many players. It's just May and the scout. They're trying to retreat, but Artist is there. A little bit of damage. You're gonna lose one scout. May popping in there, trying to surf around, but there is nowhere to land. They've sold out for Log, but at what cost? They've lost their team, and it was a valiant effort to try to go for a different style of mid, but I definitely saw that coming. They had to work too hard for that, and they will get punished. Witness Gaming able to take the first cap and have the clock start working down in their favor.
Yeah, so in the end, Witness Gaming kind of won the mid by having their Medic die instantly, just because May died so late and had such a long respawn that Loga even has a tiny bit of ad, but Froyotech looks like they're gonna go back to kind of their house. They have Jay and House trying to pressure, and they're just chilling up right now. Now they're trying to get a little aggressive onto the point, trying to get edge some point time here. Habib and Bandy on the point, not taking too much damage. They're getting healthy, but Jay getting pushed really hard on the flank. Gonna actually
he gets picked too.
And Yikes behind now for a pinch play. Lazin, people are dying instantly.
Yeah, Froyotech, they're going to lose May as well. It's just Habib and Slem. He will eventually fall in the corner, and Slem is unable to get anything more. So it's it felt really normal until the damage started to come in, and then once that started happening, people heard the damage calls, started running through the houses to try to get the pick. But at the end of the day, Witness Game just had, I guess they had the positioning or maybe a couple more hit shots, and catching May is huge there, because it's definitely going to set them up for the long haul in this forward hold. This is where Froyotech kind of washed the last round, is trying to get out of this forward hold, as well as make sure not to lose anyone. Damage on the Artist is definitely beneficial for the side of Froyotech to get through. They do have to worry about, players staying alive. We're going to have to give up Jay for the long haul of this. And Artist dropped really low, going to lose Slem, which is then unfortunate for the side of them, as well as Habib. This is pretty much just a sack.
Behind on the low guy.
They pretty much just, I think once Jay died, they said, no, screw this. We're not doing a normal push, just do a sack wave, because we can't do 5v6. Just go through, except they don't get anything. That's the thing. You really want to, if you can't get the force, like Logai's been pretty passive, right? If you can't get the force, get something, so when you respawn, you can have a player advantage to work with getting out of here. But they got nothing, so Witness Gaming is fully confident with their Uber ad still in play, just up on these doors and saying, we did it once, now you have to try to do it again, get through these doors without losing anyone or dying to our Uber. Amir Man immediately jumping in, they're just full sending straight in on the Laz, trying to bust their way through. Laz might fall, and they will be the first Gale for the side of Froyotech, busting their way through, gonna be able to give up Jay, but the Uber is still in play.
They get 3.
Yeah, that's definitely a very huge boon for the side of Froyotech. Rushing the way forward, getting himself on the point. The Uber is not used from the side of Logai and friends. They are too passive to be able to go ahead and block that point, so to cut their losses, back up, and try again for another day. But Froyotech, it took a lot of time. You see the clock in Witness Gaming's favor, but they have eventually found their way into a position where it's their turn to forward hold.
Yeah, at least this time, Witness Gaming do have the, Uber exchange. And here comes the Uber exchange, but Logai hasn't even popped it. He's gonna have to pop at some point, but the Logai no pop percentage on Bagel. And people are getting air shot, but they're in so deep, it doesn't matter. May's gonna fall instantly. It's up to Froyotech to see if they can salvage a kill onto Logai. Looks like they are gonna get it. Bandy kind of sneaking in behind, getting that kill, but it's just Bandy versus 3, and, they have the unfortunate respawns here, so in the end, Witness Gaming is gonna be able to get their medic up and then cap the point. Artist is very deep in lobby.
And this is what you really want if you're a team that's trying to break out of a forward hole. It might not be perfect, it might cost you a little bit, but at least you get something to make sure that, even if you don't get it on your first try, that your second try is at least, feasible. But Witness Gaming have first try gotten out of the forward hole. But Artist he's a little too forward, biting up one thing and chew. Yeah, no Doman here. This is likely just going to be a sack wave.
Here comes Laz going in super deep, doing some loopy loops in the air. Gonna get air shot by Habib, but they're gonna get a kill on Bandy off of that. And Yikes in so deep, gonna hit a nice beat shot onto May, but in the end, that's all they're gonna get. And Logai's gonna back up with a small Uber ad, probably not enough to do anything with, but who knows? Although Logai has definitely gone back to the no Uber usage percentage, any percent.
We've seen a couple instances where Witness Gaming has like been totally fine using a 15% ad just to gun for the opposing medic, but I don't think they're going to be able to get the site to go ahead and go for this. Gonna go ahead and bomb both the soldiers in, try to make as much space as possible. Gonna get Mirror Man, which is an opening, but they're actually Jay as well. This is fine for the side of Witness Gaming if you're wanting him to go through, and yeah, Slemness drop. Froyotech, they're gonna be down here with when it comes to the players respawning. It's 3v3, but Laz and Ash are already up, rolling out, trying to go back to the fight. Distills an Uber as a tool for the side of Froyotech to use if they want to buy more time. Has not come out quite yet, but yeah, tagging him is going to go for a long distance here to make sure it's very difficult for him to hold on to this. So much spam from Ash as well.
Oh, look at this spam. The spam is insane. Habib's just out.
Backwards. He's out. This is enough room. And get the arrow kill on Habib. That's one way to kill a Dylan. And Froyotech, they're pushed all the way back and weren't able to use the Uber. They're working all the way over towards house now. Ash might have to be careful. Pushed back, 8 HP, slips away, but not quite enough. And the Uber exchange might happen here. They're pushing the way. They're looping all the way around. They found Mirror Man a way to be able to get behind, getting Jay onto the point. So many weak players from the side of Witness Gaming, but it's going to be Jay that's the first one to fall, and I guess this loop round has gotten him a little positioning and able to get onto the cap, but for how long they've extended Jay's respawn. Witness Gaming are trying to push back onto the point, at least a little bit, stacking it with as many classes as they possibly can.
Gotta eat 2 pipes, actually some 2 pipes spam from Habib onto Yite might bring Froyotech back into this round, but Artist gonna hit a little bit of spam with himself and Froyotech are trying to defend this point best they can, but they lose Slemish, they lose Habib, Ubers haven't been popped yet, and Froyotech players are just dying and they have such worse respawns.
Uber will finally come out trying to chase down the players that aren't Uber and immediately collecting 2. I'm gonna be totally fine with a 2-person Uber trying to go for this force at the very last second, but you have to make it, and it's kind of okay, but it's kind of not exactly what you need. Froyotech will have something to work with, but at the end of the day, if it just leads to Witness Gaming recapping again, with you barely having to be getting on this point, Witness Gaming, they have this Uber as a tool. Going to be able to use it. Yeah, Jay gets the force. That's going to help them at least a little bit. But they're chasing down so many players. Slem getting on the point to get a little bit of more overtime. Ash is going to fall, so that it is one player down for the side of Witness Gaming. The Witness Froyotech can use. They've lost Slem trying to get on the point. They're just all trying to stack it. They have to have this point go in their favor, or they will lose this round. Witness Gaming trying to air up. They're playing a little bit passive, except for the scouts that are getting very aggressive on the point. Now, the trigger full. Habib dead is a very, very big boon for them. Chasing down May will eventually collect that kill. Only 3 left alive. 1 rolling on Mirror Man and Jay coming out of each respective house, but the scouts are on the chase, able to clean up those frags, and Slem, he's trying to get there, but not enough HP. The overtime will trickle down, and the round and half will be taken by the side of Witness Gaming.
Brand Slem has 5 doms.
He does have 5 doms. What the actual?
In grand finals.
What did he eat this morning? Hello?
Yeah, he ate
it's Koth.
Yeah, ate his Wheaties, did his workouts. He's doing a lot of work, and I must say, I'm watching Witness Gaming. They're getting so much kills and so much just winning these fights just off of coordinated spam. Their coordinated spam is the best I've seen in a long time. They're just consistently like playing off each other's damage in perfect ways, and they're turning like these 1 kills into just 4 or 5 kills just off of snowballing the damage.
And they're milking every little second, it feels like, because that's going to be pretty important when it comes to Bagel. I mean, you can't obviously pin a whole half to a certain like moment per se, but if you think about as an example, Froyotech trying to get out of the forward holds, want as much as you can. They usually just give up a player and to get through the doors and then say, okay, screw it, let's just sack because we can't push normally. And then they sack and they get 1 at most. Inside of Witness Gaming trying to get out of forward holds, they bust through, they lose half their team, kill half the team, respawn faster. It takes 1 or 2 tries.
Yeah,
and that's netting them the advantage here. Froyotech are still somewhat showing up. They've got that round to work with, but so far it seems it's trending a little bit more Witness favor right now in my head, but who knows what happens with halftime adjustments.
The Witness Gaming is definitely doing a way better job just locking out the doors than any team I've seen on this map, again, in a long time. They're playing this map infinitely better than upper bracket finals. And also, looking at the logs, Jared, if you look at the logs, there's a big number. There's a big number in there.
I see 2 big numbers. Well, one's big and one's like, I guess it's big for reference. The obvious artist is doing tons and tons of damage. I mean, I guess it makes sense with Froyotech unable to be able to break out of these forward holds without dropping a person immediately. Yeah. But also, 20 deaths isn't necessarily something that's like, oh my god, that's so many deaths. But when it comes to Banny, who is your in-game leader, he's usually the person that you kind of play around, especially now more than ever that Habib will sometimes take like a backseat role in terms of being the focal point of Froyotech. And because Bagel, you're required so much to have your pocket scout be the person that's kind of inching forward to the cap time to eventually use that little time frame to go ahead and get the cap very quickly in your favor. The fact that he's dead 20 times at Brand Slam is dead only 6 speaks volumes. I will say that there to his defense, you run into the dilemma on Bagel trying to repush and not doing sack waves in particular, where if you have disad, your medic doesn't want to commit to get Ubered on and just die. So that means as a pocket scout trying to like pressure and maybe like tease the cap a little bit, whatever damage you take is probably whatever you're taking. You're not getting tanked or anything. You have to cycle back for heals, and if you get killed and take too much before you can cycle back, you're just dead.
Yeah.
Although,
so just as a team,
it's hard to work against, but still, that's probably a bit much.
As a team, it's just hard to win the game if the other team's doing that much damage. A lot of that, I'm sure some of that's just off of getting all these like 4 or 5Ks and only losing a player, but still, like all that damage, like May can only heal so much. If people are like taking too much damage at the wrong time, like if Habib gets a little too aggressive as the flank players try to do stuff, and Witness Gaming gets that kill, that just opens up so much for Witness Gaming, because now Froyotech, they have to drop someone, it's a lose-lose for them.
And that's why I find teams so willing to just sack, because even in an even scenario, like where I guess not even, but in a scenario where you've lost at any point and you're coming in with like disad in general, it's hard to just go ahead and try to find an avenue to make sure your team is healthy, but they can actually achieve something safely. So you just say screw it and try to go for these sacks. At the end of the day, I think the execution. I think the big thing is execution. I feel like watching these teams, I don't see anything like very glaringly wrong. Like, oh my god, there's this little hole that this team just like isn't like patching up and getting screwed over by. But it's just the execution of Witness holding on to the point and Froyotech trying to break through it without suffering too much. The disparity there is too great. I mean, Froyotech has some room to breathe enough to. They got the first round close. They took the second round, but at the end of the day, until we see something big change in the halftime, Witness is probably feeling pretty comfortable right now.
Yeah, watching that, I'm definitely more. I'm more impressed with Witness than concerned about Froyo, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like Witness are playing out of their minds more so than Froyotech are beefing. And as we go into the second half, thinking about Banny halftime adjustments, if there's any you could whisper in Banny's ear, anything they might want to change, what do you think they should maybe try to work on going into this second half?
If they change anything, it's going to be extremely, extremely minor. We saw it last time. They were in the position, like lost the first half. They turned things around and didn't even change that much, or are able to win Bagel. So let's see what they do at the mid. But yeah, May, a little weak, gonna have to wait for the pill. Actually go back for the pack completely. So a lot of positional advantage in favor of the side of Witness. Can't cap yet, so it's not gonna lead to too much, but the flank is happening from the side of Jay and Slem, finding the opening to be able to get through the house and push their way through if they so desire. May is actually pretty passive. Habib on top of the point is actually able to get the capture. So much damage coming out, and Yite is gonna fall immediately coming through there. So one player advantage from the side of Froyotech, and Habib might be cut off, stuck in a quarter. He's able to get and jump up through that house area. So Froyotech, they played a little bit of a slower mid. I don't know if it was purposeful because May took a lot of damage, but at the end of the day, it nets them the first cap, and the train's still rolling on. They've gotten a last pick, and they're still holding strong on to this point.
And Slimdish behind. Actually, here comes the sack. They're trying to get into Lolguy here, but Jay unable to hit any rockets there, so Lolguy is going to have his full Uber, and these kills, they do get artists, so that is a good trading artist from Habib. You don't even have the point. Lolguy does get this. Froyotech does get the force. May also pops, but Froyotech losing that many players and not having the point is they're gonna have to back to spawn and try to get through this door before Witness Gaming can stuff it.
Yeah, Witness Game gotta go ahead and get this cap up. I think probably gonna wait for Yite before they go ahead and cap it. That's why they're sitting on the opposing side. But Yite's up, gonna go ahead and cap it. Jay is on the chase on Artist, not again. Oh, the arrow! He's barely alive. He's at 15 HP. Will finally fall. Self-damage gonna take him out, and Jay will be successful in eliminating the enemy team's dome. And it's pretty much even Ubers at this point, so that's gonna be pretty big for the spam war that's gonna be happening here. Habib immediately taking point on the central control area, trying to get some cap time as well as the scout. They are pretty safe standing on top of the point here with no artist in play. That's a very easy recapture from Froyo.
Yeah, Witness Gaming, losing the spam battle or being down your demo does tend to lead to that. So on that note, Artist back here in the game, hitting some stickies already onto the Witness Gaming player, or Froyotech players. And they're definitely putting some decent damage into Froyotech. Banny gonna eat a lot of damage. Banny actually gonna fall very low. He's gonna have to eat all the heal now, but they're gonna trade out Artist for that. He's just disbanded from Froyotech. Froyotech seem to clean up their spam game in between the rounds because they're coming out much stronger in this half.
Yeah, they're still getting a lot of cap time, but I mean, they still have to wait for the demo to respawn. Ban's just sitting on top of the point. He's really unafraid of any damage coming his way, so I don't see Witness Gaming taking this, let's say, force an Uber exchange. Immediately coming through, finding Habib alone, unable to be Ubered on. May will finally pop double scout across the point, trying to chase down Laz and the rest of the Ubered combo players. No flank coming quite yet, but Manny actually very deep. Has to be careful. Artist has returned. Gonna lose a couple of Mirror Man and Ash trading over on the sidelines. Fight of the house. Laz bombing in, finding way onto Bandy. Damage on his level too. Make sure that kill's collected. Branson chasing forward to get the kill onto Jay, and Yite will make sure that is in the bag. It is just Habib and May left alive with a rolling out Mirror Man. And Witness Gaming, they found an opening. They found the Uber exchange, the moment where they could get a couple kills, and then we're holding strong onto this point for now.
Yeah, definitely some big plays there from Witness Gaming. Finally, that was like the first fight of this half so far that really felt like it went in the sense of the first half. Very similar to that. But we have Jay behind here as we have some Froyotech massive aggression before the Uber even starts. They don't want to wait for Uber. They just want to get in. And here comes the bomb from Jay on the Lol guy. Gonna hit the first rocket. Lol guy.
Stuck in the corner.
They gets Lol guy in the end. So May gonna have 90% Uber here. And you know, Froyotech did cap the point and all of that. But here comes a bomb from Laz and he hits it on Habib.
That's something. Gonna be a last minute bomb from the side of Ash, but will not quite find anything. Lol guy just caught in a corner. Froyotech finding the way to get Jay behind. I think that's going back to, I don't know if it's purposely like they didn't do it before, or just now they've actually been able to finally do it after a halftime adjustment. But the previous time we saw them play Bagel, they try to get someone behind at all costs, and they haven't really done that too much up until now, and we immediately see the success that it brings them. So I'm curious to see how much more of that we are going to see. But Witness Gaming, they're have disad right now, going to be Froyotech in this forward hold, trying to prevent them really going forward. The soldiers have made some saves. Ash bombing in over onto Jay, able to collect that kill, so one-for-one trade is going to be favorable for the side of Ash to give them more room to be able to make sure that they are safe and not going to get chased down and looped around through the spawn, but still
10 seconds
too
left.
Scary, the Uber. Yeah, it's a rough spot because you need cap time. You actually have a little bit of overtime, but you also want to get this Uber, so they're able to find and work their way through. Not going to be too much competition there. Habib popped up. The Uber will finally come out, running across the point. Have to be careful about the overtime. Artist is trailing behind, and there's
C9.
Yeah, I mean, I think depending on the HUD, like my HUD, it looked like there was a little bit left, but I think some other HUDs would show a more truer value that there was not enough time there. You need someone else on there.
Maybe, like,
Artist was almost there. Artist was almost there, but I guess...
Yeah, there was like millisecond time there. But yeah, Froyotech gonna come back, and it's a 2-2, and despite that, you know, pretty dominant first half from Witness Gaming, in the end, after one round in the second half, the scores are all tied. And, you know, it's anyone's game here. If he's gonna eat a nasty face rocket onto, you know, good old forehead, gonna eat some damage there, as most teams electing to go for these mids. It seems that Froyotech are the one who generally gets more aggressive on these mids than Witness Gaming.
Yeah, just the question is if it's a hit or a miss, but Witness Gaming, they're trying to work their own flank, actually. Going to be able to get this first cap from the side of Froyotech, but Ash is behind Laz, finding the opening, popping.
Oh, the air shot!
The air shot on him popped up, almost getting mirrored, but not quite, and Jay and Banny have to salvage. They are behind. They have to find a Loga who's at 97%. He could use, if he needs to at the last second, bomb in from Jay. A little bit of damage, surf up, 10 HP, but no fall damage landing on the roof. The Mark Garden from Ash, too, to make sure that kill is secured, and, I mean, Froyotech technically won the mid, but for the long haul, Witness Gaming are holding on to this. And they have Uberad to hold on to, so it's going to be very curious to see what Froyotech does to try to break through this forward hold.
Yeah, Habib tried to peek that door, just peek to see if the forward hold, and immediately ate two stickies to the face, so that was kind of a no-go. And the Froyotech flank actually is through. They're going to try to clean up damage on Ash, and they are able to get a 2-for-1. Actually, yeah, that's a 3-for-1, so they get actually, here comes the Habib on trying to get anything, and unable to, you know, 1 man versus 5 can end up falling. So Witness Gaming trades out Ash for another, you know, 30-40 seconds off the clock as Froyotech regroups. I think he'll take that.
Yeah, it's something to work with. I mean, Habib as a late death might be a bit worrisome, but probably not too much. They're trying to find a way of opening where Ash is not to be able to bust their way through. They do have this Uber to work with. Jay immediately falling to a trap the Artist set over by the Ammo Pack, so going to be one soldier down. Immediately Laz bombing in, going to just fake around and actually land on a Mirror Man who committed fully, so they're going to be able to clean up that kill. No soldiers on the view, but Artist is going to fall, so no damage for the side of Witness Gaming to continue to pump out this damage onto these weak scouts. Going to be able to take the pack. They're rushing over into their own right side house with Uber moving away over onto the point, getting on top of it, noticing that with Artist dead, it's very easy to make sure the kill
Witness Gaming flank on behind now, onto May. On the drop!
That was salvage from Ash. He just found the opening there over on this one side of the map, just leaving the other house completely open.
Yeah, that was a actually, I think he had a scout with him too, and so that was a very well coordinated flank for Witness Gaming to get the drop there. I don't think they expected the third rocket to get off and hit in the very end. So that's probably the biggest momentum shift you could have in this match. And even then, still, Witness Gaming were in the driver's seat in this round so far. So they're going to take the point for free and probably try to settle back into forward hold. But Froyotech looks like they're about to sack.
Yeah, they were able to get through without a forward hold in place. They are immediately rushing through the house, just trying to get a lot of positioning. Oh, Slim popped up in the air, is immediately cleaned up. Ransom makes sure that he, actually I think Slim might have kill bound, but either way, actually a lot of aggression coming through. Immediately both scouts cleaned up.
Good force from Jay.
Oh, May dropped down to 4 HP. Almost died there at the very end of that, but yeah, getting the force there is going to be huge. Got Yite too, so it's even easier to try to find a hole if they get through this forward. It's not spamming class, but it is something to work with at the very least.
It is, and I feel like these Witness Gaming forward holds, is that a plus?
I think that is a pause.
Okay, that's a plus. Good thing my computer's annoying. But I will say, just while Froyotech is looking at these doorways again, Witness Gaming have definitely done a very good job in between the last time they played Bagel this time of fixing their forward holds, because they seem very dominant. These just Froyotech has to really just struggle to get through these doors.
But at the same time, Froyotech has also done a good job of making sure that even last match and this match, even when their plan A, their execution of it isn't exactly what they need it to be, they still are finding a way to claw themselves back at least a little bit. Even ignoring the scores, it kind of feels like a Witness Gaming dominant game for the most part, but if you just actually look at the scores, it's full on even. So despite the changes, both these teams are still really in it. There is a favorable position for Witness Gaming right now. I mean, the clock's still ticking down because it's paused, but they are definitely under the 2-minute mark, and with a position to forward hold right now, I mean, they're sitting in a pretty nice spot. So Froyotech are gonna have to really go all out this round if they want to claim it for themselves.
Yeah, I definitely. I'm actually wondering if this might be attack. If Froyotech loses this round, they don't even have time. Oh, massive pipe from Artist, actually gonna hit an instant pipe onto 3 Froyotech players. So they're all very good. But I was gonna say, if Froyotech loses this round, that means it's, Witness Gaming, if they just win the round, Froyotech doesn't get another halftime, so they might have even made attack in between the rounds just to make sure they get all in the same boat, because that's their last opportunity to discuss stuff.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I guess we'll have to see. 90 seconds in the future, of course, but even players on the board immediately are deflecting Banny. That's very huge to make sure that it's going to be really rough for the side of Froyotech to actually recap this.
Froyotech's health is so bad.
Yeah, this is not looking like they're going to be able to recap this very soon at the bare minimum. They're really shoved back into a corner here. Witness Game is still holding strong on top of the point and around it too, but it's only a matter of time before the Ubers potentially come into play. Slem is trying to peek onto the point at least a little bit. Banny has returned. The question is, how long will it be until the initiation happens and people start to run through? We have some house shenanigans going on. I'm going to have a cleanup onto the side of Jay and Yite chasing down Slem. We're going to run back for the pack. Uber change coming out. Yite in the thicket though has to be careful. Might clean up and will die, so that is one player down as well for the side of Witness to make things a little bit evened up. After the exchange is done, I mean, they've protected the point at least a little bit,
so
but
it's
looking like it might be in Froyotech's favor. Yeah, losing Mirrorman's going to be huge. The fight is happening in the other house now. Immediately bomb on a Slem. Lad's going to be able to clean up that kill and barely escape with his life. 31 HP. Ash going to make sure he's able to get out, and they're pushing forward now. Jay, we'll try to go over the point. Yeah, but immediately just capped it. Got that in, and yeah, it's a round for the side of Witness Gaming, and this is where the pause came in.
I think that was attack. Unless someone was lagging, that was attack.
No one left the server. I've been lagging, but yeah, no one left the server. I think it was attack. But I mean,
it's the only opportunity to.
It's grand. Get yourself the extra halftime adjustment if you need it, realistically.
Oh,
going into the next bit.
Yeah, if they lose this round, they're in map 2. If they can turn around this map, because they probably feel like this is one of those maps they can win, even though it's not their pick. If they win this map, they only need to win one more, whereas losing this map is definitely a really unfortunate opening for Froyotech.
Noticing the Froyotech is definitely slowing down their mids. I feel like the only other mid we really saw over the past 2 matches is run through the house like they're doing right now, except it was immediate. Now they're kind of doing it at wonky timings. Immediately, Banny aggressive onto the point. Some flank pressure from the side of Slim and Jay inside their own house, trying to find an opening or at least the right moment to bust through. Maybe finding Yite a little bit, but not too much damage on him to go ahead and clean up that frag and go for something. Some cap time from the side of Witness Gaming. He's trying to get aggressive onto Artist. Drop the 1 HP. He was at 1 HP at one point. It barely lives, able to get the heals and the arrow needed by Banny. Popping up in the air, but will escape as well with the Surf's Mirror and jumping back as well. So positioning is being traded back and forth, but at the end of the day, Froyotech just edge out just a little bit more to make sure that this cap goes their way.
still, if Witness are able to get any trades here, it's going to work out in their favor, and they might be able to, parlay that into an even better hold in the long run. Witness Gaming seems okay with losing the initial cap, and here comes the Uber exchange. They got to, shake something loose somehow, and that seems to be the play to do it. A lot of Froyotech players are hurt at the post of this, so there are a couple Witness Gaming players, but yeah, Witness Gaming definitely had the health advantage there at the end of that. Danny's very hurt. Habib also going to take a bit of damage, so Witness Gaming, even still, their health is very good.
Yep, back to an even scenario though, clock ticking down in Witness Gaming's favor, so Froyotech are going to have to try to do something here in house or across the point to put the time back in their favor as it slowly ticks over towards Witness. They're still playing very heavily in this left-hand house with Jay and Slem trying to get onto the point. Yet, actually, it's a good point. Dolphin has reminded us that no one's died yet in this entire thing, but might be cursing as Jay will finally be the first death, followed by Ash trading soldiers on either side of the house, but still, it's just a little spam battle over the point. No one's really gone in, no one's gone behind. We had the one Uber exchange, it didn't really lead to a whole lot, but they're just taking turns, getting a little bit of pressure, a little bit of damage to make sure that they can claim the cap as theirs, and Witness Gaming about to do it.
Falling very low, and now Bandy's like a little overextended, left to see.
Trying to block it.
Yeah, May does a good job there getting Bandy and Habib healthy enough, but Artisan's gonna, do more pressure, and Habib's gonna fall spam, and it's just Bandy on the point. It looks like he's gonna probably try to take a solo to block this. Bandy does not want to give this up. Oh, he just gave it up.
It's kind of shortened Habib's spawn, immediately going for a sack wave, finding some room, but no damage enough concentrated to be able to collect a frag. 3-man, not going to be able to find the force or kill. With everyone on the field, Witness Gaming, not only do they have this Uber, but they do have the ability to do a forward hold. And so Froyotech, they got the Uber to work with, but they are put to the test once again to see if they can bust out of these doors.
Yeah, the Froyotech just... Oh, they have to pop to get through the door, and they're going to pop to get into Artist. They're going to trade an Uber to try to get Artist here, maybe more. Witness Gaming seem to be alright with that. They're very willing to let Artist die. So, Froyotech going to take back the point, and they're going to get this Artist kill. But, Low Guy's going to get very hurt here. He's going to try to not pop this, and they're actually going to trade Jay out, which is going to work out in Witness Gaming's favor. Low Guy is just not popping here. Balls of steel on Low Guy, and it's actually going to get the pack, so 30 health and not a beat of sweat on his forehead.
But Slep behind. Froyotech going back to the roots once again. Get someone behind at all costs to cause chaos. And now they do have this Uber to work with for the side of Witness Gaming, but they do have a Thorn in their side. Mirrorman actually putting a lot of damage on Brandsam, going to be able to fall, and Artist dropping as well. There's so much going on. They got people behind over on the side of the house, and the Uber will not come out, and the Uber targets will just end up dying before they're able to run across the point. So that's tons and tons of time on the clock for the side of Froyotech, actually giving them a hefty advantage for once this round when it comes to clock time. They are going to eventually lose Slim, so it's going to be a little bit rough for them to work through the longevity of things with the bomb from Jay. Long guy push into the corner. Sack wave coming in, and they will finally pop Uber. That is enough to make sure that Logai does use. Slim and May are completely out of there, rebuilding their Uber ad to try to bust out of probably forward hold once again. They're going to go ahead and let Laz spawn, but I can only imagine they're going to set up at these doors.
Actually, don't let Laz.
Actually, maybe with a Uber ad, they probably won't.
Yeah, but still, that was by far the most successful Froyo sack I've seen in a while. They generally have Lol Guy's been doing an incredible job for the most part, staying alive in these sack waves, and Froyotech actually are able to bust through the door relatively easily here. So I think they're just. It looks like they're actually going to go for some house pressure. They want to get aggressive here somehow. They go in the house, don't see anything too crazy, so they're just going to try to block the point. Now, Bandy actually going to fall extremely low, almost going to die. He's 15 health and manages to get bowed up, but that boat is getting a little bit of time to get closer Uber just because they can't cap. And Froyotech is struggling a little bit to cap this point. Witness Gaming's doing a very good job staying alive, and going to be a trade between Jay and Yite, Soldier for Scout.
So many Witness Gaming players just going in, getting really beat down to red HP, and just somehow surviving. First Artist, and then Laz, and now Ash. It's Bandy and Jay and Slem that are just getting picked off. So far, they're unable to use the Uberad to go across and get... I mean, they got the cap time in their favor, but only now is it finally going to come out. It will eventually... yeah, okay, they do get Artist. Is not saved by the side of the Lol Guy. They're very willing to give up Godel Man for this.
Yeah.
Definitely a deliberate choice in a lot of situations, but... The cap not in Froyotech's favor. They do have some players to work with. Will finally get on top of the cap. Brandsam's trying to block it.
Here comes the Uber. Slender's going to get melted instantly.
Yeah,
and so is Habib.
Too.
This is just the...
Maybe even Mirror going for the chase. Yite's peeking around.
Jay's hiding in a corner behind him.
Oh, well, yeah.
He's
once
literally
again,
crouching in
someone behind at all costs. Yeah, it's either Jay or Slem that's in that position, and this time it's going to be Jay. If he's here just long enough and is able to actually get some really good initiation unseen, this could be a very huge collapse. It all comes down to the timing.
I don't think they know he's here. It looks like, okay, he doesn't shoot a spam rocket. Something, got scared off a bit. Knows that Froyotech not going to work. So Froyotech they kind of have a bit of a, they do have a small Uber out here, but the question is, can they edge this cap out before this game gets overtime? And the answer seems to be yes, so they did get it, although they traded a lot of health for that.
Yeah, and then that just gives more room for the side of Yite and the rest of the Witness game to try to poke around the point, but they are going to lose last, though it's going to be one person down, unable to really watch this flank.
Look at
Gonna
their
go ahead and
health.
flip things around. But yeah, the health. Froyotech going to lose Banny. Slem not in a position to really get onto the point. We'll try to do it now that he's getting tanked at least a little bit, but going to be able to kill Artist. That's huge. Ubers have not come out quite yet. Going to be able to give it the point for the side of Witness Gaming. They are at overtime, but Froyotech are dwindling down the clock as well. No Delman here for the side of Witness Gaming means it's really easy for them to defend the point. They have the damage. They have Habib. They are ready, but the question is how will the Ubers be used? I can only imagine Branson will eventually find him to go ahead and just run through like he normally does. He's wanting it, but the
they drop
timing is
Branson?
off. Logai wasn't ready. The miscommunication, a drop scout, Uber exchange forced out, flank over from the side of Jay. Will not really net anything, but Slem is able to make sure the damage is cleaned up. He's now behind, causing a tear on Artist. Drop roll will eventually die. Two
Ash
left
on top
alive
of
from the
point.
side of Witness Gaming. Just Ash and Logai left alive. Branson will going to eat an arrow to stay alive at least a little bit longer, but it is not enough. They have the
They might have
overtime
the point
though.
time here.
There's
They
overtime
have so
and
much
faster
point time.
there's
Can they
so
get
much
to the point? They gotta get to
faster
the point.
respawners.
Oh, just barely. The medic was seconds away, and on that note, it's a
The
3-3.
miscommunication. Yeah, like no matter what team that is, you see that, you look at that scout, you see that he's ready to go. He wants that Uber, and the medic's not ready.
Habib did something. I didn't see what, but Habib apparently did something. Everyone is freaking out about it.
He did so much damage there.
Did he? I did. Okay, I believe that.
Well, is this deja vu? This feels like deja vu.
Yeah. It's a 3-3, so kind of into a golden cap. Whoever wins this next round wins the game, and then we do have some halftime adjustments coming from both teams, and I guess in terms of halftime adjustments, since Froyotech won that half, and now I guess the ball's kind of a Witness Gaming's court. What adjustments can they make?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got some sort of plan B at this level, but the question is, how good is your plan B? So far, Witness Gaming, they were put in a spot last time they played this map where they had to, they started off strong, had to make an adjustment, and the adjustment did not lead to anything fruitful. They ended up getting flanked through their spawn throughout the entirety of their disad scenarios. They could never really hold on to the point, but I mean, this isn't even plan Bs anymore. This is like plan C, because we're starting to see developments from these teams where it's not like new tech, but when it comes to like what you would normally expect to see out of like a team, they're kind of throwing up new strats in terms of like, we haven't done this in a bit, let's go ahead and do this. Like when it comes to Froyotech going and doing their sacks, or Witness Gaming going ahead and being able to break through like the fort holds really strong. So I don't know. I don't really know what we're going to see out of the side of Witness to try to break through this. Because before, I think I agreed with you that it was just Witness Gaming kind of playing out of their mind that led them to this lead, and now it's just that last bit. It's just a little miscommunication.
Yeah, Witness Gaming could have easily, if they don't drop Brand Slam there, who knows who would have won that?
Yeah, I guess it's really all going to come out of this round then. 3-3 could be anyone's game. This is going to be dicey because this is going to be the map that you maybe think about if you just barely lose grands. You look back and like, man, if any of those rounds were different.
Yeah, especially because a lot of them were very close. We did have other than those like 2 rounds of the first half where Witness Gaming kind of just went Super Saiyan. Other than that, the rounds have been very close. So it's definitely razor thin margins of victory here.
Well, I guess there's as for jokes, there's one bit of good news. One of us is going to get our pred right. Question is which one is it going to be?
Oh, true. I mean, that's what really matters. In the grand scheme of things, you get, say, oh, I was a genius, I knew exactly, I am Nostradamus, I saw the future. And on that note, we're going to go into our golden cap here. Winner of this round wins the map.
Yeah, the trends of the mid so far that we've seen they've actually been starting to get a bit slower. Like eventually someone commits, but no one's really just jumping the gun right off the bat to try to launch themselves forward. So we'll have to see if that is the same thing or if it's going to be change of pace. And actually, Froyotech, they're getting
back to some house pressure.
Yeah, they're still in the house. They tried to show a little bit of form of aggression, but no one was really there to meet them. So at the end of the day, it's still starting off as a spam war.
Yeah, it is starting off as a spam where both teams know that if they lose this first mid disastrously, that could just be it for this map. And Froyotech gonna get a little pressure here, but Witness Gaming are actually gonna be the ones who actually get the initial captures. But Banny gonna falling, that's a disaster start for Froyotech. Yeah, can eat some damage, gonna have to back up, and Froyotech does have some people aggressive in-house to spam these point players, but yeah, Jay gonna fall just trying to make anything happen, and Miraman's gonna get in, can't even get the salvage kill, so Froyotech gonna lose 3 players on this mid for at what cost?
Are they able to get Slim make sure that that Laz dies? So that's something. They have something to work with here. Trying to bust through this door, getting rid of all these artist stickies, but the cap is going to go Witness Gaming's favor. It's a pretty strong start. Just able to catch out. I think Banny was aggressive and kind of expected his team to be with him, but didn't really find too much there. Immediately melted, but trying to melt Ash, pushing forward on him, blasting him back. But Banny once again, first death. The Artist once again. Artist is going to die though. Habib going huge, making sure that he is cleaned up, and the Delwyn pick, very, very big. That
is very big, but when this game do have this Uber, if they want to buy some time here, they can easily Uber change. Ash actually, or that's Last, excuse me, going to get launched up in the air. They're actually going to drop Jay off of just all of the spam. Mirrorman going to fall too, or at least fall very low. And Witness Gaming going to back up and decide not to use this Uber.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a last resort thing. We're going back to how it was previous season, I think, when it comes to all these teams playing, where you just don't want to use it unless you absolutely have to. But they have the J pick to work with. Laz trying to bomb into the house is going to immediately meet 2 scouts. That is not what you want to see as a soldier player. That is not a fun time. He will immediately melt, and it's going to make things a little bit rough for the side of Witness Gaming to get back onto this point. Froyotech still holding strong. The time is not in their favor, but it is ever slowly ticking towards an even scenario. Flank coming in from the side of Jay and Slim. Slim's going to be the water. Go ahead. Oh, barely misses the pack, but the flank, Mirrorman and Jay causing...
They might lose both soldiers for this, though.
Actually, yeah, they get the force out. And
Jay does a very good job staying alive there. But Habib caught in a little. The team left, and he did leave. He gets a boat, saves it, he ends up trading out Laz, but they end up losing a bunch of players for that. So Froyotech do have Uber ad here, but the time's ticking down. They're still net negative in terms of how the times are going.
Yeah, I guess the silver lining for the side of Froyotech is you still do have this Uber. The fact that the medic was forced in the first place by the side of LGLgg, I mean, losing Habib at the end there, that you lose like 6 seconds. I mean, that's huge for Vagel, but in the grand scheme of things, this Uber can grant you so much more. Just have to get through this. It is actually a forward hold. They're playing kind of careful. Immediately, they're going to pop through their main, bombing forward, leaning over to the left side of the house. Air shot from Laz.
No way!
What is... Okay, Banny's dead again, and the side of Jay is down.
Vanny had an Uber, missed 6 shots, 4 pistol shots, I got 2 plates.
Well, alright then. I mean, they've lost Artist, but they still have this Uber to work with, only 5% more for the side of LGLgg. They're trying to get onto the point. Gonna lose May, though! Laz able to flank his way through, and the rest of Froyotech is pretty much just collapsing. They're able to get a couple consolation prizes and the soldiers, but these scouts definitely have to do a whole lot of work to get this force, and it doesn't even look like they're trying to yet. They're gonna go ahead and wait for the respawners, so huge out of Witness Gaming to make sure that against all odds, they're able to hold on to this point for the long haul.
In the meantime, while Danny was out beefing on Artist, Laz also went massive, so Witness Gaming really stepping up off of some Froyotech miscues, and they're kind of in the driver's seat this round. They have Uber at, and they're gonna let Froyotech half this point, but they still have an Uber. Froyotech's in a very sticky situation here.
Yeah, they still have this Uber to work with, like you mentioned. May passive doesn't want to die, but also means that Banny and Habib, when they get damage, it's really rough for them to get healed up immediately. Habib's actually just going back for a pack because he's that weak. And yeah, it's not a recipe for instant success. Froyotech are definitely playing this very slow, but that's not working out in their favor when it comes to the clock. Witness Gaming totally fine to just sit here, just own the point, let the Uber advantage dwindle down, but you get so much cap time. And now May finally has an Uber to work with. Let's see what they try to do with it. Immediately running across the pipe. Banny Uber onto Artist is going to get saved. Ash, a little bit of damage over the side of the house. Mirrorman and Slam are working their way forward. Flash onto Guy, keeping alive. Banny going to go ahead and go behind, find his way onto Ash. Going to eat the pack though. Artist dead. No damage, but Banny will fall behind. May, very weak. 31 HP. Has to be careful to make sure that he's able to survive this. And with no dome, man, this is pretty big for the side of Froyotech if they can hold on to the height.
Very low. He's caught out. He's going to fall. The Froyotech, you can tell they're on their heels here. They're kind of back. They know have the pressure in the point. They can't let Witness Gaming cap this, but they told the players.
Yeah, I mean, Artist pick is big, but they can't really work with it too much. They really have to get to this point where there's no overtime. They have to get to it right now. It's B that actually has to get onto it and start just the little tidbit of overtime. I'm going to lose Mirrorman over on the side of the house. Habib just running forward, trying to put some damage onto Branson. Slam as well, going to lose Habib and Banny. Bodies falling from the side of Froyotech, and Witness Gaming are still holding on. 5% left till they have this Uber. They play it as slow as they want. It's just Slim. He has 8 HP. He's on top of the point. He's buying some time for Mirrorman to roll out. It's a Delman. Delman Scout is not very fun, but LGLgg making sure that kill is collected. There's still some overtime.
Here comes the respawn.
They get the force, but is it enough? The rest of the team, Froyotech running forward, just gunning for it.
Mirrorman did a really good job here, actually buying time.
They do have better respawners. They have better respawners for Froyotech. That's how they're able to get to this. They're able to make sure the overtime works in their favor. Just ever so much more cap time. But Banny gonna fall, and Jay. They didn't cap immediately, so Habib could spawn. But immediately, Witness Gaming sees the opening to rush forward, and now Habib's here. But the rest of his team is dead. Witness Gaming They've worked against the respawn disadvantage and collected themselves the first map, almost, as Brain Slam. Almost.
Yeah, almost, but Witness Gaming going absolutely massive there just in terms of DM and being able to clean up on the kills. I will say, I think my MVP of that map is, other than, Lol Guy just playing out of his mind, Artist was absolutely going nuclear that game. Both demos, really, but Artist in particular.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I think there's definitely moments where either team did something extremely amazing, like, relatively consistently, and also moments where like key members of either team just like made one crucial like inter-team mistake like comm problems or like out of position and then it just nets you like so much of a bad way and so much time to sad. But at the end of the day, I feel like the thing that ate the most time off the clock was Witness Gaming's ability to make sure that their attempts to get out of their spawn and get onto the point in their sacks always granted some sort of kill to work with for their second try for the most part in comparison to Froyo, and artists just holding on to the chokes like nobody's business. Even in situations where they had disad, just the one pick onto a scout is huge because all of a sudden that flank play, the flank plays they died to in their last match where they were looped around and died in their spawn. Those players can't get behind anymore while you're running away from the Uber. It's so much more difficult for you to get sandwiched, and we saw that in the last map where that was Froyotech's bread and butter. Get behind at all costs, no matter what you have to do. Even if you lose Slim, just get Jay behind, get something. And the fact that a tool that you use to do that just is immediately dead from Artist is such a big bane in whatever plan you had when you ran up to mid trying to enact it.
Yeah, I just we transferred to the logs, but I just have to say I've never seen Banny. Like I know it was one round, but I've never seen Banny go do the double O kills there. So that was really impressive work from Witness Gaming, making sure that Banny, pretty objectively one of the best players to ever play the game, if not the best player to ever play the game, getting 0 kills that round on the scout class. And looking at the combined logs here, that was Artist Gaming.
Branslam playing very consistent as well. I mean, there's definitely like some littered unsung heroes throughout this log. Slemnish definitely did a very good job at collecting kills. Both these medics definitely made sure that they defended themselves when they needed to, collecting like a respectable amount of kills, even though it's not necessarily their job. But yeah, I would say the artist and Branslam definitely put on the star performances for the match.
Star performances. And one thing to note there is that you're looking at the Froyotech damage, Habib definitely getting very singled out in terms of damage taken. I feel like Witness Gaming knows that, if you don't corral Habib, he's going to make miracles. And I think they did a very good job making sure Habib was always too hurt to really, at least most of the time, able to walk forward.
Especially because I think it felt like they started to kind of recognize that Habib's not as much of a focal point on Bagel because there's so many moments where they play very house-centric. And Froyotech kind of stopped doing that as much. They kind of stopped playing May in a position where he was just pretty much healing the flank inside the house. And he's able to put a little bit more heals onto Habib, but still it's quite a lot. Quite a lot of damage onto him.
Yeah, it was definitely, again, like we said, kind of went back to the first half, where the Witness Gaming focus fire is just so coordinated and so hard to deal with. It's not even like, both medics can heal to the best they can, but if everyone's just getting so hurt so fast, there's not that much you can do.
True. I guess we're probably on to the next map, yeah?
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing, actually.
Yeah, we'll probably get our way over to the next map. Before we go ahead and go for a break, we'll go ahead and mention two things for the people that are watching before you go ahead and go AFK for a moment. One, Witness Gaming are still trying to get the last bit of money for their Copenhagen fundraiser. They do have plans to go ahead and go to Copenhagen LAN, and I think it's somewhere in the spring, so that's going to definitely be exciting. They've done pretty well in the fundraiser to make sure that a lot of their flights are refunded, so if that is something that you are interested in donating to go ahead and have another intercontinental LAN, that is definitely on the table. As well as more news, as I always say, check out the RGL shop. Maybe you can find some new merch eventually. We had the normal stock, you had the Witness Gaming themed merch that also helps for the fundraiser. We also have new designs in the RGL shop, shop.rgl.gg. If any of them look interesting to you, you can go ahead and check them out. Of course, all the old designs are still there, as well as the Witness Gaming merch. So go ahead and check it out and make sure you peruse the stock and see if anything looks interesting to you, because it will be there, and you can get it whenever you desire.
Yeah, I do personally like that Weezer Blue album shirt. Definitely a very nice job there. And on that note, I guess we're going into Metalworks, which definitely Metalworks, I'm not going to say it's one of the more unique 5CPs, but it definitely has a lot of interesting quirks on this map. You don't really see that much on some of the other maps.
True. It's definitely, I mean, it's definitely one of the longer maps when it comes to walking distances for like rollouts and stuff. So even besides the rollouts, just
Yeah,
like by rollouts I don't mean mid. I just mean like trying to get from point to point. You need to make sure that you have a pretty big advantage in some instances because the small ones are really harder to deal with sometimes. Last can be kind of awkward to defend sometimes because you have to kind of play like ring around the rosy around the point and try to avoid the Uber at all costs. Which I mean, you do that normally in 5CP, but
yeah.
it just feels a little bit different because they're so much more closer, right?
Yeah.
So.
And definitely, it's one of those maps, compared to a map like, say, Process or Snakewater, it's definitely a much less of a scout-dominant map, I'd say. It's definitely still, obviously, it's still a scout class. It's still, arguably the best class in 6v6, but you definitely... Metalworks, it's harder to take over a game, and you can't really, like, push through the doors as the scout class in this map. Not quite as much as some of the other maps, so it's definitely a... some teams struggle with that if they have very dominant scouts and their soldiers are a little weak, but neither of these teams have weak players on any class, so it should be very interesting to see who can come up on top. I believe this is Froyotech's map pick, so...
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Froyotech definitely feeling more confident on 5CP than King of the Hill, it appears, at least. And definitely, I'm curious to see how both these teams approach mid and that kind of stuff, whether it's kind of one of the spam mids or explode mids.
Yeah, I mean, with all 5CP maps, you can really go either way, depending on your team's playstyle. In terms of if you kind of play a little baity, a little passive, try to get some people in to collapse on them, or if you just go guns blazing, all out, try to burst someone down out of position and stuff like that. But I don't think we've really seen either team like really tested on Metalworks in a long while.
Yeah,
I can't really say like any like thought of either of these teams playing Metalworks. If I think back to any like match, it's not necessarily a match where like they had to work too hard in comparison to what they're up against now.
Yeah, I definitely like. It's not like Bagel where we've seen both teams play a lot of Bagel. It's kind of like all the all their kind of like things they do are out in the open. They're kind of known. There's definitely some potential surprise factor in this map, at least in terms of like what a team might prefer to do.
Yeah, early on as well. It's not we always talk about in 5CP the half deficit. If you are able to come out of the gates with a surprise because the other team wasn't necessarily expecting what you're doing, which is big compared to Bagel. You play that tons, and that was on display for everyone to see throughout the entirety of the playoff run. You come out of the gates at Metalworks, give them a zinger or two, show them who's boss, and give yourself a 3-0 advantage. I mean, they can adjust, but they can't just adjust to like a even game. You have to completely blow out the other team because you can get to 5, you win. So it's gonna be pretty huge for either of these teams just to give it all you got right at the go, obviously, but to make sure that you don't just wait for the halftime to like sit down and talk. Like if you did attack the last map on Bagel, you definitely do it like 2 rounds into Metalworks if you're on the back foot. You want to lessen that deficit as much as you possibly can.
Yeah, especially because unlike Koth, you can't really like park the bus as much in Koth other than just forward hold. Whereas if Froyotech are up 4 rounds on King of the Hill on a 5CP, they if they want to, they can just park the bus. Not that they're the type of team to generally do that, but you have the luxury of they can just sit there and you might just be stuck on your last for 10-20 minutes at a time.
Yeah, I mean, and that's we've seen that sometimes, honestly, depending on how things go. Because some teams
more than others.
It depends on, I guess, the matchup. I think Metalworks second is like a big gray area for some teams, where like it can be really hard for them to figure out how to hold it in a way that makes them feel really comfortable. Like just enough pressure in a certain area, and all of a sudden your medic is forced. But if your medic is playing too safe, then all of a sudden your team just kind of just explodes from too much happening. So I don't know. I mean, you see it a lot where teams will just say screw it at a certain point and go straight to last. I mean, that's been a staple ever since this map came into the pool, was the classic give up 2, hold last. Just because we said it before, the amount of time that you have to take to walk from point to point is probably the most out of any of the maps, I think.
The Granary reason. We were playing Granary.
I mean, maybe I don't know. It's up there with Granary.
Yeah,
it's
Granary,
a long while.
it's funny, they both kind of have similar aesthetics, and both of them like you like take like walk to Mordor to like get to anywhere. Like especially like the mid fights, like you got a good, you can really spin a yarn just talking when as they're rolling out.
Still waiting for the patented passive mid crits to mid strat where you just use the fact that the rollout is so long to build crits like even closer.
Yeah. I feel like that might be more of a granary strat. I don't know. I haven't played enough granary to really
just
say.
A long rollout strat in general. But granary plays so fast that you just immediately.
It does. This map can play fast too, but you can also do the passive mids generally. This map. I'm curious to see if either of the teams. I know I already said this, but I want to see which team like bites first and decides to just do like the double soldier insta feed on mid.
Yeah, which team is going to be able to enact a way where they can actually bait people into Valley without completely giving up the mid. It's a fine line between, having some sort of position and not, but we are going live, so we don't have to wait too much longer. Got a long rollout ahead of us. Any last-minute prevs on what is going to happen on Metalworks?
Yeah, I guess I was correct in this first one, so I'm kind of nervous. I'm going to say 5-3 Froyo. It is their map pick. I think they might be able to get back in the swing of things here.
Yeah, with it being Froyo's pick, I'll take a 5-2 in their favor, but we are seeing initial damage. Oh, pipes from Artist coming in onto the soldiers. Immediately gonna have double soldier bomb from Jay and Mirrorman. Jay committing, but Mirrorman not, so I'm not sure what's happening there, but Laz is gonna fall. Habib make sure that kill is collected. Spam on a Slimnish, backing him up, and so far the positional advantage is, they're taking turns. The scouts are going back and forth. Mirrorman will finally fall, so no soldiers on the field for the side of Froyotech. Witness Gaming is trying to pressure for it a little bit. No high ground for either of the team until you have the soldiers bombing for it and getting on top of the point. Slam, really weak. Same with a B, blasted back, and I think Froyotech has realized the number disad here is a little bit too much to work with, and off of getting the soldier fixed, Witness Gaming will take the first mid.
Yeah, the number in the spam, and I definitely noticed, kind of like Bagel, where Habib definitely wasn't the focal point there. It's kind of like, making sure zoning Artist out, but Artist had heals and Habib kind of just didn't, so Habib there's a couple times where he just didn't have a mid.
I'm very confused by the double bomb from Mirrorman and Jay, where Jay committed and Mirror's was fake.
Yeah, Mir did the good old loop-de-loop, and Jay kind of got left out to dry.
But it was at the same time, so I don't know if it was supposed to be like one distraction for the other, or if it was just like a miscommunication on whether or not you were staying in. But I mean, I guess it makes sense watching that and see that they're for the first two deaths, and it kind of gives Witness Gaming the position they're in now. They are working their way over towards Alley. Even Ubers on both sides. Froyotech set up at the end of their bridge, and Laz bombing in is able to work his way behind. Now he's in lobby, and it's going to be a nuisance for them. So much damage from Yite on Amir, but Laz finding a way to go over, and yeah, they're able to get a little bit here. Bomb from Amir, man. Oh, the shot onto Branson, making sure he's dead in the gray. The flank from Ash, making sure that this Uber is popped by the side of May. They're rushing forward, trying to get anything. Artist kill, wall guy pop, and they will finally succeed in that endeavor, but yeah, able to kill Banny. So, I mean, if you're Froyotech, you'd rather give up Banny for the Force than not, because at least it kind of evens out now.
It's a 3v3.
It's not a spamming class. It's going to take forever for the Witness Gaming players to roll out. This is likely... It's likely going to reset in some capacity, unless the other team sees something. They're poking around.
Witness Gaming want to go. Look at this. They're in through lower. They're just in. Here comes a big skybox bomb. I believe that's from Mirrorman. Gonna do a lot of damage. But not gonna get any kills, and they're gonna get cleaned up. Artist gonna fall, but Scout Soldier for demo. You might want to take that. Now the Ash is gonna actually get nuked by something. He lives though. That's such a huge play that he just lives there. And now Laz is in. Big damage onto main, and they all got split up off of the different kind of bombs, and they just weren't able to get the health up. And that's pretty much a clean wipe from Witness Gaming, other than losing Artist and Yite, and they're someone that forgot the cap.
I guess they really just got that off the surprise factor. They were really working with disad there in terms of players. So many players rolling out from the side of Witness Gaming that weren't able to initially be there. Oh. Slim, that's definitely helping that a whole lot to prevent there
goes that
push immediately coming. Yeah, so it buys him some time, gets the gun up to a better spot. Banny's on that now, but I guess Froyotech just didn't think that they were going to push. I didn't see what Habib had trapped, but
it was not lower.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't lower. At the end of the day, I guess it was just enough, whether surprise or damage or what. I mean, they lost Artist going into 2 and still was able to immediately find a way to turn the tides and win that push. So they're in a spot right now, 50% ad, just got to pick a door and go ahead and go through it.
Yeah, those Laz and Ash bombs perfectly split up Froyotech, and here comes the initial bit. They have a Pyro and a Sentry to deal with, and they're not getting anything. They don't even get the Mirrorman Pyro. They lose Ash. The Sentry's on a 3k or 2k. Already a disastrous fight. They get Slimnish. That's their only consolation prize before we were in. I must say, Mirrorman Pyro, strong.
Mirrorman Pyro is very, very, very good, and it's definitely showing here. They do have full ad to the side of Froyotech, only a couple more percentages left to go, and they're actually just busting through before you even get it. Bandy has made so much space for them, saying it's free to work your way through it. It makes sense. A lot of the Witness Gaming players were dead, so they're stacking this, actually not leaving one and going. I guess they're content with holding on to, oh no, they are walking for it. Okay, I guess they didn't leave one and go for it. They're playing a little slow, but you play slow onto this, you're just gonna end up not pushing mid at the end of the day, so we'll have to see.
They
immediately
pop this, and Artist might be caught out here. He doesn't actually get out, and they actually lose Jay. The Wolf guy is able to get out, so they're going to preserve this Uber ad, but they lose 3 for that, so Froyotech definitely
works.
Yeah. So Froyotech do get 3, so they have like a small opportunity here to kind of get in. We'll have to see if they actually do that, if they just want to post up on mid. Looks like they want to go forward.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that, I mean, I guess it worked at the end of the day. It was just a little bit slow, but it's definitely not slow to get into 2. Witness Gaming are nowhere to be seen. I mean, they're kind of at the door. They do have Uber to work, but only a couple players until they get their respawners here. Froyotech doesn't look like they're going to, you know, play too ballsy here, except for the side of Mirror Man is going to go ahead and see if he can find a hiding play, and, you know, the sack's not really going to lead to too much, but that means he's not able to be used as a tool for the sack in the transition for Witness Gaming walking into the outside area trying to take mid with their Uber, although
this might be too slow here. They're a little slow.
This could just be an exchange here. Maze already has his Uber.
Yeah, they might be prepared for this though. Froyotech walking forward, they want to exchange this on their terms and not wait for Witness to pop. And Witness Gaming have a lot of ground to cover if they want to get back up, and Danny's already behind.
Yeah, it's
Artist
definitely
might be
bring
caught
people
out
back.
Here.
Oh, missed arrow. Still alive. Will finally die. Mirror Man bombing forward. Getting a lot of even getting the last kill, and Slender's getting out as well. Meanwhile, Banny and Jay are still causing a havoc in the areas behind. Jaden killing a brand slam. It's just Logai and Yite that are running away on their own side of the map, and Banny behind, able to clean up. Yite, Ash dying over on the side to Slem, and Banny getting the taunt in after cleaning house with Witness Gaming. Leaving one to cap, just Artist left alive. He's trying to get some damage out into the main area. A couple missed shots, and that's a dead dome, and immediately stacking onto the point. Body block onto Laz and Brainstem, trying to get onto the point inside of the model. So much damage in Froyotech, getting the first round of Metalworks.
Yeah, I can already tell just looking that Danny feels much more confident going for these flank plays on this map. He's been really, like, in all of these, like, aggressive Witness Gaming plays, he's been kind of sneaking behind and made some really good plays there. So Froyotech first on the forward with a 1-0.
Yeah, Witness Gaming did a good job prior to this map, like dealing with people behind, but so far it's looking like, you know, the pressure that's coming from the side of Froyotech, just using the Uber to go behind, is needing to be a little bit too much. But another mid, some damage from the side of Artist into this doorway. It's a fair amount. I mean, it's nothing to immediately write home about, but Jay is gonna die, bombing on the side of Artist, able to collect that frag. May gonna die though, so no medic for the side of Froyotech. 3 left alive, trying to get onto Logai. Just have to find the right timing. They're all sitting on top of the point, finding the opening for when it's just right to rush forward and make sure they can collect a kill. But Brainstem very aggressive, using the buff to go forward, as well as Yite the distraction, able to clean up the side of Slemnish. Vanny on the point still, Aviv blasted back from the side of Yite, able to cancel the pack, but will eventually die. And Brainstem collecting the final frag of the mid, so a very early kill from the side of May. They're all bunched up from the Artist spam. Just they all roll out top right. Artist was it lower, just spamming it, making it hard for them to really live. Early medic death is gonna be really hard for you to win in the long term when it comes to mid fights.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I don't know if Witness Gaming pushes that door again anytime soon, because last time they went into the Pyro and it was not a pleasant sight to see. So we'll have to see what they do with this Uber at pushing last. But May already on 70%. Is he on crits or something? No, he's on Uber. He's just building really well.
Yeah, this is a very, very slim ad. They are going to go through this right-hand side into the Mirror Man. Pyro blast it back at least a little bit.
Artist going to fall immediately.
No Artist for the gun. That is just a dead slim. This is deja vu. It's a dead sniper once again.
I thought they were
Yite's gonna burn out.
I was mistaken.
I didn't even see Artist. Where did he even die?
Ironman's pushing out on Pyro. Oh, now he's backing up. Okay.
No, he pushed out a little bit. He's like, why are you on Pyro? Get back. Go back to Soldier.
Mirrorman on Pyro, honestly, if he goes Pyro, I trust Mirrorman on Pyro. He's like one of the few players that's like, yeah, you can play full-time Pyro, sure, go for it.
Yeah, there's Uber ad for the side of May. Go ahead and clearing alley. Make sure they can get through scot-free. You can't be too slow. This might be another Uber exchange again. Megan will go ahead and eat the pack. Jay, make some space. And the Uber immediately coming out, blasting forward again.
They are
I don't think, yeah, last time they caught some players. This time, maybe get Laz, that's about it.
Yeah, they're able, actually, they want to refight this immediately before they even, anything happens. They only get the trade between Ash and Jay, and here comes the Uber, and May's so caught out, they're going to get May, they're going to get Habib. And he doesn't get the cap, and Mirrorman is behind. Banny also behind, taking it. Okay, Yite wins the 1v over his Mirror Man, and Banny's gonna fall too. So kind of a disaster from Froyo Gaming. They do Froyo Gaming. They do get the point, but that's kind of it.
Yeah, I guess Froyotech didn't expect the Uber to come in right then, or either that they were trusting someone to spot that didn't, but that was probably what they wanted their Uber to be. Like the first Froyotech Uber. Witness Gaming launching forward, collecting even more so. They got May with that as well. Artist going big there and making sure that they're finally able to make sure that the Froyotech players that are lingering behind are cleaned up and aren't a thorn in their side. But yeah, Jay is sniping in spawn.
Wait,
oh,
he's
way. Trying.
Okay, he Banny, but I was gonna say like he forgot to scope in before he peeked, but
okay.
But he
probably
wanted to check to see if there's stickies first, but yeah, understandable. He Banny Binds gets out of there. And for last and Witness Gaming are gonna choose a different door. They actually popularly walk around the door. They are able to get the gun, so the gun is dead. They get J too, so this might actually be a successful last push. Last is on like little thingy.
He's on the light.
Do they know? I don't know if they know.
I don't think they do. This is going to be a giant thorn on the side. They get long eye or something. Artist is up here. Yeah, now they finally see him. He's launching forward with the side of Artist, but not really going to find anything with those two players. So May will survive through the last hold. Logai unable to get out, and starting to recap this point. It feels like Witness Gaming has had a lot of attempts at last. What is it, 3 or 4 now? But
that's the
so
third,
far,
yeah.
So yeah, so far no dice.
Yeah, and I will say, definitely Witness Gaming might need to go back to the drawing board of their last pushes. Froyotech doing an excellent job with their off classes. You can tell they're all very on point with their off classes. And Froyotech trying to get in. Jay's actually managed to kind of infiltrate behind here, but he's going to get chased down. And actually going to lose Banny too from Froyo. So Witness Gaming might try to push off that. You know, the sniper for Witness kind of I don't know if they were trying to kill him, but he ended up being very hurt. So maybe they sacked and just failed for it. But Witness Gaming gonna try to get in through lower, and Slim just gonna go down and immediately fight that. They're gonna trade at the sniper, so you know, no sniper on the board now for Witness Gaming.
It's actually pretty huge, because that was the one thing that was gonna make it really rough for Froyo if they wanted to passive hold that at all and wait for respawners. But the fact that Yite was just left alone and lower and immediately got cleaned up by the scout, the timing was perfect. So Froyotech are in a spot where they can inch their way forward with the Yite kill. It is even Uber, so if they really want to try to retake mid, it's gonna be forced Uber exchange, and they have no scouts. They are rushing forward, Laz bombing through, immediately caught in the transition, in through lower. The timing was perfect there. And that is what you wanted to see if you're a Witness Gaming fan.
Yeah, Artist just took over that push and said, nope, you're not getting into mid, you're not going to have scouts, and that was pretty much almost as bad as it can go without having a full wiper for you. That's, you know, like, they're kind of in a really sticky situation because, you know, I'm sure the fourth try they'll get a successful last push, right?
Who knows? There's a gun, there's another pyro, there's another sniper.
Yeah. Maybe Witness Gaming needs to counter the Froyo off classes with their own off classes, like, you know, like the patented Hootis into last kind of push.
The late heavy, but immediately going in, some damage onto Jay, jumping the gun, Artist, a lot of damage onto the pyro, and we'll finally get that gun. It is only level 1. Slimnish will die once again, so gonna die on the server. Habib almost caught, dropped real low, will eventually get the health he needs to survive,
big plays
but
from Ash.
3v3, Ash still in.
Just
2 left alive. Habib and May got to arrow up 90%. A little bit longer, and you can get this Uber to make sure that you can get your players alive. Standing on top of the point, Brainstem rushing forward, popped into the air. This Uber's in play now.
No,
he dropped.
I guess he felt like he had to respect that.
Did he just ego checked him?
He did, and considered the ego checked.
Ooh. All right, well, I guess Witness Gaming gets a 5th try for the last. 4th try didn't really work, but I mean, they're probably not mad with it.
Yeah, it's definitely better than you can tell they were making progress. They're slowly like putting the puzzle pieces in place to how to break this Froyo hold.
But Froyotech, it's pretty admirable that you set up this hold, and Witness Games is trying different things, but still, no matter what, Froyotech is still finding a way to hold on to it just by thread to make sure that Witness Gaming cannot collect their first Metalworks round. You got the Pyro, got the Enchi, got the Sniper once again. It's all part of their process and their plan at Witness Gaming. They got the Uber ready to go, picking a door. It's looking like it's their left-hand side perspective immediately going into Mirror Man Pyro.
Yeah, they're going to Mirror Man Pyro. They're leading a double scouts here. They kind of fed up with the Pyro, but it still takes so long. But yeah, Artists managing to get a bunch of damage off of. They're all on the point, and there's a tough nut to crack, but they finally figured it out. So at a clean 1-1, I must say, Witness Gaming looking very dominant, other than last.
Getting the Habib kill is really huge. Immediately getting out of the point. They were all in spawn. There was no one behind lingering at all. Jay tried to jump through the little hole to be able to get to the point in time, but just not quite enough distance there to be able to get through, and got yourselves technically a tied game, although, I mean, It's looking rough for both teams in certain scenarios, so we're really gonna have to see how this mid progresses at the start. Immediately, they're rolling out this way once again.
Double
Both
bomb.
soldiers bombing in from both teams. Laz up on the light. Light's gonna fall. A lot of damage onto him, and actually, this is pretty much a meat grinder everywhere, all over the map. There's so much happening everywhere. Yeah, but after all is said and done, Witness Game is pretty much out of there. They have escaped with their medic still alive, and man, and the rest of Froyotech, they're on the chase. They've left one. They're going down the bridge and making sure that this bridge area is locked down. But the question is, I guess Habib's there. They're, just back to last. There's no way you're going to be able to get through that positional disadvantage, and now Witness Gaming are on their last for a change.
Yeah, like you said, it's kind of such a journey to get anywhere that they want to fight that. They have to win that fight, or else you just instantly lose. So they're gonna it's even numbers, no reason to do anything, or even rounds, no reason to do anything super crazy, and you can just kind of post up on last and wait for Froyotech to do something. And there's something appears to be in J Sniper, so Jay preemptively going sniper, hoping to get the hero shot off before Witness Gaming realizes that there's a sniper in the field.
Yep, there is a gun from the side of Brand Sam, so running traditional two-mans might be a bit difficult unless you're willing to just have someone go die to the gun. But yep, Jay post up in shutter, seeing who pokes their head so far. I don't know if he's necessarily known per se. I mean, he probably is. They probably saw him with how they're playing.
Saw the shutter open. They have to know.
Yeah, no one's willing to really peek this right now. Even Laz. Laz is like edging on the side of the. He's like on the edge of the little hut. Because if he's any more to the right, he gets body shot, and Jay is looking at that sight lane right now.
I can see that. I don't know if Laz can see it. I think that's Laz's shadow, actually. It's the shadows of this map are a little weird. Sometimes you can see them like through the walls. It's kind of a little unfortunate, but they're gonna try to peek again with Jay. There's nothing inside. They're actually gonna go for a sack there, but teleporter down?
Mirror Man just in the skybox.
A teleporter down, I guess.
Headshot rings out. Damage on the Jay. Not gonna die though, had the buff.
Yep, that's always important to have that buff. And on that note, looks like actually, Jay gonna eat a nice rocket from Laz, it appears. So, they're gonna be pressured a bit back, but so far no counter sack from Witness Gaming. They're trying to. I guess that was their counter sack. So Jay does manage to get the counter sack on Jay, trying to peek forward, make a little space, and now they're gonna try a different door, but Laz is right there and waiting.
He's putting out some pressure, but he eventually has to back up. Jay is just wide swinging it. He doesn't take a shot though or scope in.
Oh, here comes the Mirror Man. That was
opening. There you go.
Play.
There's the opening.
Everyone was so focused on that other door that Mirror Man had basically a free bomb. And even though it was a level 2, the gun didn't track enough in time, so now Froyotech have full Uber pushing into last, but Witness Gaming still are pretty set up. The gun is coming up right now. They have a dispenser, they have a sentry. Logai's actually going to take that teleporter into spawn. Look at that.
Yeah, they're setting up aggressive, try to stuff whatever door they go through, and Logai will probably take it to try to escape. Because they're going to go for the gun first and foremost, most likely. And then, just trying to step with the pyro tanking him. But wrong door, not at the right one. Immediately bombing
takes the
through.
telly.
Yep. And they get the gun, which is some positioning. Everyone's kind of in spawn, though, for the side of Witness. So Froyotech are able to get some positioning here. Yeah, pretty much dry fight, but they have no positioning.
The last gonna fall instantly. I hear a
die.
sniper headshot coming out. Yep, that's just that was a very dominant fight from Froyotech. I heard a couple J headshots. Laz died, and it was over.
Yeah, everyone on Witness just immediately hightailed it to spawn, but that means there was no one in a position to actually prevent Jay from just peeking in. So ringing out a couple headshots or body shots, no positioning, be able to get through without dying to Habib's spam and stickies. That's that's not going to be a strong last hold. At the end of the day, Froyotech are leading 2-1.
Yeah, coming into the split, Witness Gaming are going to hope they can win it, because, they had to struggle really hard to get that one round. A lot of trials and tribulations. Habib going to fall so low. They're going to trade... okay, they actually managed to trade that out, which is huge. Froyotech basically didn't get them in. They didn't have them in.
Yeah, this was a wash. Mirror Man
gonna
die
fall too.
Yeah, he gets cleaned up. They didn't even barely get to arrive. Habib gets a little kill onto Ash with some spam down the hallway, but still, one player disadvantage. It's already too late. They're just trapping up Holton too, and this will be a Witness Gaming mid-victory.
Yeah, Habib rolled out into just like 2 rockets at his feet, and that was his mid. That was all he could contribute. Very unfortunate. And on that note, Witness Gaming do have even Ubers on mid here, so it's at their luxury to try to go shake something loose from Froyotech.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of different ways you can really go about it in turn. It's mostly a targeting thing. Like, if you're the side of Witness Gaming, what you're going to try to go for. Trying to get Habib kill, May kill, maybe just do a couple fakes, like go for an off-class. No off-class yet, very obviously, as we can see. So it's looking like they're just trying to figure out what angle they really want to work here. You have Habib trap over on the side of the flank. The rest of the team pretty, they're holding pretty traditionally. I don't think there's too many wonky ways you can really set up a defense for the side of Metalworks second. So, I mean, Witness Gaming, they've done plenty of spotting. Maybe they're just waiting for a timing, an opening, where things, you know, maybe lose some patience, get a little bit too aggressive, wondering what's going on. But they're finally working the way over. They're in alley now.
Habib actually put up a sneaky trap, actually, like, it's hard to describe, but he put it behind the point, so that way when last try is going to behind, oh, he did it too early. He put it trying to kill the player, went behind, but wasn't able to get it. It is going to fall, and Laz is behind here. He's actually hiding in a corner, waiting for someone to go chase him.
I don't know if they're going to recognize, like, where he is. Like, they'll look behind a little bit, but they can't see him.
They saw shadows. May literally tried to pre-fire him through the wall. I can see the bow. Like,
oh yeah, true.
I think May saw the shadow and shot the wall to say, "Hey, Laz is here."
Right. True.
Mirrorman
Trap
fall,
Mart is on the pack. It killed him, but Brainstorm alone.
Acid damage coming in from Ash. If anyone can collect those kills off of his damage, but it's Froyotech collecting the kills here. Now Artist is a little caught in. He's gonna fall too. So Froyotech able to take that sack and just turn it into a mid fight. So now it's Froyotech on mid, and it's on them to do something. But with Witness Gaming down 3, we're gonna have to see what they actually elect to do here.
Yeah, Witness Gaming was very isolated holding that mid. I didn't really look like they were exactly sure if they wanted to use to defend or not, but at the end of the day, in a position to sack, they're going to be okay with sending Jay, but not really going to find anything.
They're doing big
damage. The damage.
They might want to clean up. Yeah, they get
cleaned him
Slender.
up.
They're in. Look at he's just in.
He's very deep. I think able to take the pack and be a-okay with his health department too. But Mirrorman cleaned up in the side of the house. Now Froyotech's on the bit of a crumble when it comes to holding mid. They only have 3 left alive, but Banny wants to take this Uber, running down onto low guy.
Yeah, Jay is gonna get last here in this Uber exchange. We'll have to see who actually comes out on top. But Habib gonna try to jump out, not gonna work, and it's on Bandy trying to salvage something here. He does get Ash, but that's it. And here comes Jay trying to. Froyotech's all trying to salvage, and they get Artist, but no low guy kill. So Uberhead coming in from Witness Gaming, and Froyotech down so much they get their forwards denied too. So this might be a last push or last hold. I mean.
The poster positioning from the side of May was just a little bit too aggressive. He had his Uber ending like on the ramp, like right where Artist stickies were, and just dies to him. I don't know if I didn't quite see if he was body blocked or anything, but at the end of the day, even though Witness Gaming don't necessarily take second for free, in fact, I don't even know if they're going to take it at all. Laz is bombing in, but they're in a pretty good position. Ash is going to fall. One down, and Froyotech are noticing the house is actually open. Wow, they brought 4 people in, and they're trying to pinch them. So much damage on the ramp. Low guy and Artist extremely
nice bow
weak.
that saved Artist.
Yeah, he's gonna live at least for now. Until the fadeaway. The coordinated, the fadeaway rockets onto him. No Delman on the field. Very small, very small, 30%.
Oh, here it comes. Yeah, they want to use this, but Froyotech, why is he electing to be way out? They only get Mirrorman here, and I think they're gonna try to dry.
They got Jay.
They're gonna try to dry this, and actually they don't have Uber quite yet. They gotta be careful. And look at this damage.
Yeah, Habib is dead. 92%.
95.
Just
Can they get this Uber?
They're
gonna get this, but. This is a sad Uber. They're gonna get Ash. That's it.
Yeah, this is not where you want to be in.
Actually, nice. Bandy's
behind. Oh, he got Artist. That's a huge play. He's on a 5K right now. And now they can't even push.
He's on a solo adventure, and it looks like he's winning that solo adventure. Mirrorman's in too, so he has a buddy to help him out.
Yeah, that pretty much completely salvaged the situation. Bandy running behind and getting those 2 kills just by himself.
Yeah, again, I feel like that's we saw the same thing in that very first round where Bandy going behind, making massive plays. He's doing it against Bandy, even though he's on combo scout, it shows that, if you know what you're doing, you have the freedom to go just run around and make miracles.
Yeah, definitely has some more breathing room here. They do have a sniper. Jay is trying to find an angle like where he wants to sit. He knows his team has disad, so he's rotating through lower, but that's where they're going. They're going lower, but the Uber immediately coming out. Double soldier onto Bandy and May, who doesn't have scout speed anymore. They're able to collect that frag. No one is behind. Mirrorman, I guess, is technically like a little bit behind. Slam trying to clean the wall guy, able to get through the doorway and make sure that medic is dead in the grave. It is just Jay and Habib left alive. The double soldier Uber at the end of the day will be successful, but Jay Sniper, he's still in a position where he can go huge here, as well as Habib traps and collect people, but he has to be careful about his positioning.
I think he didn't get anything backed up, but Jay can actually collect a kill on Brand Slam, so that's a pretty good opening at defending mid. It looks like this game is going to back up here, and Jay does have, still in the sniper class, and now he has a little bit of a free peek because Froyotech are down 1. He can afford to be a little more aggressive.
Yeah, it is not a spamming class. They have to be a little bit careful. Witness Gaming is still kind of here. They could go for something if it looks right. And I mean, with knowing that there is a sniper, they could. Yeah,
here comes the double bomb onto, or looks like a fake bomb.
Laz goes for Jay as well.
I see a lot of deaths from blue.
Oh, they're wiping. France, that last one left. they got Jay, which is what they wanted, but I mean,
Look at
I
those
guess
respawn times.
yeah, I mean they got Habib, but not much else, and Mirman is just running the last.
He's building running to last with the pickaxe.
Yeah, that's too long of a
That's the
respawn
half.
time. That is indeed the half. A valiant effort, but I mean, they really got in like super deep.
Yeah, they did, and I will say that like there's definitely times during the match where it felt like Froyo was dominant, then Witness was dominant, and then Froyo was dominant. But the Froyo last holds were so good that even when Witness was winning the bids and had all those advantages, they couldn't make those into rounds. They got like 4 last pushes or 5 into just 1 round, which is, if you're Witness, that's you need to definitely get those last pushes under check so you can actually take advantage of your opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, if a last push constituted like an automatic round victory because you like had your last pushes down, this could have been like a 3-1 for the side of Witness. So I guess Witness knows what they want to change, while Froyotech, they're holding on strong, and they've proven that they had a reason why they picked this as their map. And take a little bit of look at the stats here, and
Sad soldiers.
Yeah, definitely sad soldiers. You got a skybox to work with,
Yeah.
but I mean, a lot of situations where you got to give up your life.
Yeah, happy pockets get sad soldiers. So those are like not process stats, not like snake water, but those are definitely like pretty scout dominant stats. Like seems like almost all the scouts other than Yite were having a good old time.
And most notably, Banny has made a big swap. Obviously, the maps are different, but I mean, it's a big thing when you need certain players on your team to be the focal point and be like your star player that you work around. And I think it definitely shows that Banny is very comfortable on this map, at least against Witness.
Yeah, definitely. You can tell that Banny just feels more comfortable in this map because of the flanks he's going for are all very successful. Like there's 2 or 3 times there where he pretty much single-handedly man-moded and just kind of like took Witness out of the game.
Yep. So now we look at the deficit here. Witness Gaming, they've had some moments where they shine through, spare the last pushes, obviously. And they have the moment to adapt now, but are they going to be able to change enough to make sure that things are completely flipped around? They can't let Froyotech get even 2 rounds with the dominance they showed on this map, otherwise it'll be a Froyotech map victory. So I'm curious to see what Witness is really going to want to change, if anything, besides the last pushes. I mean, they could just only change the last pushes.
Yeah, they did win a fair amount of bids. They had 5 last pushes. With 5 last pushes, I'd expect at least 2 rounds.
But I think as time goes on as well, like, because this half went on so long, I think Froyotech didn't start as strong. It was very even, and then they kind of like got their footing and saw like, all right, this is what we need to do. Tiny adjustments mid game to put the ball in our court and stop those last pushes attempts from happening to us, from even happening at all. So I mean, you could be like, all right, we're gonna fix our last pushes. We're gonna do X, Y, Z, and it'll be fine. We'll get rounds that way. But are you gonna be in a position to be able to have another last push ever again?
Yeah.
So I mean, you want to fix that, but you also have to make sure that that's a position where you put yourselves in. Like, for example, it doesn't matter if the mids flop all of a sudden, and Froyotech uses this half to also be dominant in mids as well. Froyotech, they're every single mid, well, maybe not every single one, but so many of their mids have felt like a complete wash. That if they fix that, all of a sudden Witness Gaming has a new problem on the field to fix to deal with, and they can't really afford that in this position.
Yeah, I feel like the last 2 Froyo mids were kind of okay. Like they definitely looked better. But yeah, initially the first half of that half, just those mids were definitely very clean or much more clean from Witness, I'd say. Definitely and yeah, the Froyotech off classes on last are so good. It just that last hold looks really tough to deal with. The Witness tried to replicate it, but they couldn't get nearly the same success. And I don't know if that's necessarily a Froyotech thing, just being better at pushing last, or just the Froyotech being better at holding last. You know what I mean? It's or maybe just both actually.
It might be a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I mean, realistically, I don't know.
They had the same classes, you know what I mean? The same classes, similar positions, but just for whatever reason, Froyotech was maybe it just mirror man pyrotive.
I mean, it could be. I mean, realistically, it's so important to make sure that the gun goes down really early, as well as the pyro that's protecting it, just to make sure you can get some sort of positioning to actually lock down other areas, like the spawn area, so they don't really run forward, or like the scout that's trying to deal with the pyro and the gun can't go to the point immediately if there's not enough time to clear sticky and get on it and bring people over. Like traditional last pushes from other maps, the scout runs forward, And you like think of, I guess let's think of Snakewater, because Snakewater could be a map that we see later on. It's the last map. But
Yeah.
Scout runs forward, kills the gun with the demo. It's fine, whatever. There's probably not pyro at shutter. Immediately runs towards the point, clears off a sticky, baits it, so to bring people in and get kills that way. But if a pyro just eats so much time away that the
Yeah.
scout never gets to really do that because now he has to actually fight people, then it kind of changes how your last push really goes.
Yeah. Especially because Metalworks, I feel like once you get that point pressure, it's like all 12 players in the server just end up like kind of by the point. Like it's especially because like the point time, you have to physically stand on it to block it. Means for the defenders blocking Metalworks last, you really have to be on that point. You can't be above it. You can't be next to it. You have to be directly on it, or else they just cap it. So it definitely, if Witness can get in, get that pyro kill faster, and get on the point, and actually get that point pressure, I think that would help them a lot.
Can you? I think you technically can double jump on the point, and all of a sudden there's a little flashing moment where you're not capping anymore, right? It's like that.
It might even be like it's close to a single jump almost. Like if you double jump on the point, you're not capping anymore.
Yeah.
And same thing with defending. So we'll have to see. But on that note, we are going into our second half here. We'll have to see if Witness Gaming can bring it back and clutch this map. Froyotech up 3-1, and that's right. I forget we have the missions on Mordor rolling out here.
True. I think the immediate thing is I want to see if Froyotech rolls out their own respective top left area. They've done it a lot, and they've eaten a lot of damage rolling out, but they're still doing it. Maze,
Artist is
Maze
trapping
not
out
going
Mirrorman. He got sent to the skybox.
He's in the skybox. He's landing on Brandslam. He's just behind. Mirrorman's on 2.
He got chased by Brandslam, but off of the combo scout just leaving. Witness's mid is kind of like, I'm looking at their positioning here, and it's not ideal.
Yeah, they don't have the players either, so maybe that was the thing that Froyotech needed, just send Mirrorman into the skybox.
Artist launched him there too. Artist provided the rocket booster to send him up there. There's 3 stickies. Mirrorman just was like, yep, I'll walk on these. He saw them and just mentally chose to walk into them. And someone's behind. I believe that's Slemnish actually going in for a flank. I don't think. Okay, they did see him. Slemnish.
Oh, log 18.
Oh, the drop.
Oh, another ego check doesn't work out in the medic's favor. Slemnish is able to collect that.
Yeah, I believe that's Brandslam checked and Slemnish checked, and both of them did not successfully get checked. So. Gotta respect Brandslam and Slemnish. Those players will drop you every time.
Yep, so full Uber for the side of Froyotech. No buffs on any of the Witness Gaming players. Brandslam is on Sniper, so Froyotech plays this pretty slow. It might be a bit rough when it comes to getting in, but he is watching the lower sight line. They're able to get through. Oh, just barely. Not anything there to write home about.
Here
and
comes
they're
Jay
pretty much already
space.
out.
Yeah, pre-fire sync kind of bombed the shutter. Nothing there. Witness Gaming backing up. So on that note, on to another last hold, but Froyotech having full override. So we'll have to see if Witness Gaming went back to the drawing board on their last holds too. Maybe taking a page from the Froyotech book. We do have a...
Oh, Laz. Immediately cleaned up.
Laz gonna get caught. That's not ideal. Habib is in the skybox.
Yeah, got the gun though. Then here's the corner capping. Bring the soldiers forward. Vanny will die to the stickies. We have a late Yite heavy coming in play. No soldiers, no fire.
Heavy might be powerful, but he's getting kind of cleaned up. Artist and Yite still alive. Artist might get cleared up by Jay here. Actually, Artist staying alive is huge, and Yite just barely getting tanked up. Froyotech can't get these kills.
Yeah, Jay is behind.
Oh, he's trying to get low guy.
Oh, he can't get a second rocket out.
That was a noble attempt. That was actually very clever. I wasn't sure what Jay's plan was, but that was probably his best available option.
Light heavy was huge there. He ate up so much damage.
He did.
They didn't really have a way to deal with it.
Look at their Uber. They built their Uber so fast.
Oh, Banny, he's lingering. Ash is
they
gonna
get
die
Ash too.
Well, no one's dealing with Banny. They've seen this man, right? I feel like they should be seen. What is happening? Did they not look at him? Okay, Laz is there.
They trust Laz in the 1v1, but...
Scout versus Soldier, though. Yeah, bring back Brandslam. Gotta bring back the entire team. I'm surprised no one... Yeah, I'm surprised no one saw him. I'm looking at bird's eye view. I could have sworn that someone saw him peeking through that door.
I think they did, guess not. There was a derpy fight happening in lobby, but regardless, Froyotech, Banny running behind again, even though they didn't get that round, that bought them time to get Uber, so... Witness looked like they want to go, but they lost their Uber head. I think they know it too. Maybe they, I don't know, maybe they just don't care. They don't care.
Oh, yeah, either don't care or don't know, but it's going to be an offer.
That's a good opening pick. And
Artist, though. No, he's not able to get out. Wasn't able to get through the door.
Behind too, might be going for a pinch here.
Yeah,
actually, he's got to go for Mirrorman. Can he get this kill? He does not be able to get this kill. So Witness Gaming down 3, including their medic on this last, and the players who were alive are all very hurt. And yeah, Habib sinks stickies on Ash, and that's a 4-1.
You could, okay, that was definitely not realizing the Uber situation, or at least I would want to confidently say that, because Witness Gaming was scattered like nobody's business when it comes to post-Uber positioning.
Yeah,
You had Artist, who was still outside. You had Branslam, who I didn't even know where Branslam was, and then Logai was, Logai was left by himself. They were not prepared for an exchange, and it showed.
Yeah, they saw the shiny players, and I think they all just went like, uh-oh.
They just said, uh-oh, run.
Ran in like 5 different directions. And he's gonna take a lot of early damage, so maybe they can get back in the game in this mid. But here comes a bomb from Froyotech. They're just kind of like doing loopy-loops in the skybox, and Laz on the point gonna be shooting down at Habib, gonna be eating a little bit of damage there on the side, but no real kills yet, only just players falling low on both teams and just getting healed up. But Froyotech, they are getting a Witness. Froyotech won the positioning battle, and Witness have to leave.
Yeah, their spam war was a little bit in their favor. They held height for a very long time. They made sure that even though the Habib was the one that was weak out of the Doman more often in that little scuffle at the beginning of the mid, it was Artist that was unable to dish out damage to people that made attempts to get on the high ground because they just focused him more. Like Habib, like ate some damage, but that was about it. But everyone kind of shot Artist back, unable to block the people from getting on top of the high ground, and that's the easy Froyo cap.
Mirror Man Spy. You love the. I always like the Spy class. It's always just really derpy. So glad we see some Froyotech off-classing, because they know they can kind of like. They don't have to force things now. They're up 4-1. And when this game are kind of on the back foot, so they can afford to slow the game down a little and just make sure that they don't do anything disastrous.
Yeah. The timing could be argued to be a little bit awkward now because it's even, so you kind of expect Froyotech to be doing something, and you could as Witness, you could be saying to yourself, I'm paranoid now, why are they not doing anything? They're starting to be an alley now. Here comes the bomb in from Jay. Deep maybe. Mirror Man in position. It's starting to happen now. Auto Logai unseen. They don't know. He's chasing after him. He's trying to catch him. He finally catches and they run at the same speed, but he will eventually get his man. Logai dead in the grave. Gonna give up Slimnish for that too, but for an Uberad, you take that any day of the week in Froyotech. Back to mid they go. Gonna wait for the respawn. It was Witness Gaming in no search of any reconcile for that death, and the play works out in Froyotech's favor.
I've been in that position as Mirror Man, and it's so frustrating when the player doesn't know, but they're just walking forward and you just can't run fast enough. So definitely feel for Mirror Man on that one, but he does get the frag in the end. So full Uberad for Froy. Have you seen a full Uberad second push yet? We've seen a lot of last pushes, but I don't know if you've seen the Uberad into second that like actually was a fight.
Not a real fight. Like we've seen Uberad into second, but it's been the other team leaving. Oh, immediately. They're gone though. They're out of there.
Yeah, they're out of there. Not being able to get anything there, but I think Froyotech are so confident in like their second defenses that I feel like they're pretty okay with that.
Yeah, I mean the defenses so far have been pretty good for the side of Froyotech holding on to 2. I mean, spare the one time with the double soldier Uber happened been lower, and just completely annihilated Banny and May. That was pretty not good for them, but I mean past that, they've done a pretty good job of slowing Witness Gaming down, getting people behind, making sure that Uber didn't really do anything. They're through the door, but Mirror Man got the force. They're trying to... Habib? Habib's... Oh, he's going to die fall damage.
That was a good thinking, but he might... Oh, there he goes. Rest in peace.
And they collected net 2 for that. You're fine with that if the side of Witness.
You only lost the soldier, too, and they lost all of their spam. They only have scouts, so, like... Froyotech has to play like a Kovacs aim game to even try to block the. Yeah, they know they can't. The scout class can't really do much in this situation. They're already out. They do have Uberad to work with here, but Witness Gaming gonna sit on the point and barely staying in and trying to claw their way back in really because they're still 3-round deficit.
Well, they're on the move, really popping through the sticky trap, trying to launch by Artist. Caught it. Oh no, he barely jumped out. He had a sticky on the wall ready or something. He launched himself out. So he's safe. He's weak but safe.
He went out at like Mach 5 too. He was out of there once he finally actually elected to leave. And Ash.
Oh, he eats the trap. He's a little weak.
He eats the trap.
Oh, Mirror Man going for the kill.
Spoke too soon. That was a very good commit from Mirror Man.
Oh, he barely doesn't take the fall damage and is holding on to it. Yeah, that's a lot of bot time. And Logai, even though they have an Uberad, Logai's not comfortable pushing forward on red HP. They have to go get him a pack. That kills even more time to just let Mirror Man respawn and come back.
Yeah, that's the kind of situation as a medic where if you peek that door, you might just like eat a bow or a sticky and die instantly. And if that happens, Witness is just out of the game. So they kind of have to just take that slow. And here comes the Uber, but Froyotech again already out. There's no one to really chase this, so...
What was it super for?
I think they got scared of traps. They get J, so that's something, I guess. But,
I guess.
Froyotech have the Uber right now, and Witness might not even get this point. Froyotech are actually going kind of slow. They don't want to, like, rush this, I suppose. So, Witness are going to get this point, and we're kind of in a leapfrog situation, which, considering that Froyotech's winning the map, I feel like this might work out of Froyo's favor in the long run.
Yeah, if the situation, like the status quo stays the same, it just goes on forever. The fact that Froyotech's in the driver's seat, collecting Yite as well, is definitely beneficial for them. But Flight of Witness, it doesn't look like they're really doing much else. Spare a little bit of spamming of the soldiers bombing forward, being a bit of a distraction, but no one is really committing here, so no real fourth attempt. So Froyotech, I mean, they're stacking. I think they've recognized that that is not big enough to just leave one and keep walking. It'd be a really awkward exchange, but they technically get a free mid, and maybe Witness Gaming is fine with that.
Yeah, maybe they, one of the teams decided, hey, we don't want to leapfrog here because maybe it might not even be Witness, just because, like, yeah, you're in a stalemate now, but like,
Ooh.
oh, do we have we have the return of the hero. We have Mirrorman Spy yet again. Gonna see if he can get another drop onto RGLgg or maybe an Artist Stab. We'll have to see, but I feel like Witness Game might be a little more aware of it, but at the same time, this is the kind of situation where Froyotech would park the bus if they wanted to, so.
That's true. So there is some reasoning why you could think like why they wouldn't really be doing anything, and even still, they're bombing around, they're like poking around, getting information. But yeah, it's only a matter of time.
Well.
Might go for Artist instead of Logai. It's gonna be a scout trade over on the flank.
They get Jay. Mirrorman could even go for a back cap here. He has like actually a fair amount of options here.
It's only a ×1 though, so it's a little awkward. He's definitely gonna go for this Artist kill who's alone. He's stalking him. He just wants to find the right
we'll
moment.
See if
he's
Artist...
he's on
actually,
the move.
Wait.
Oh, Laz? Oh, he's gonna find Logai?
He's butter knifing him. He's
Revolver? Oh, he's
no
not.
Way. He gets the force.
Okay, he gets the force. He gets the force.
He lived. No.
What?
He lived.
He's at 10 HP. He's bumping. He's still alive?
I'm stuck on this camp now. I have to see this through. Somehow May got forced to. I don't know what happened, but
we were watching the more important series.
Yeah, the more important scenario. Yeah, so we do have Mirrorman still on the spy class. Actually, he's just gonna deep hook. I think he just wants to die. Or maybe cause a distraction.
Some sort of distraction. Yeah, he's just running forward. Will eventually die. But
that was a good distraction.
The rest of Froyo is rushing forward as well. They've done a lot of damage on the Artist. They killed Grand Slam, so it's a 1v1 in terms of players. Even Uber's pretty much.
Jay, big damage.
Oh, Laz popped up in the air. 7 HP. Will die to fall damage. Another kill on the board in favor of Froyotech. And getting Ash too with the spam. Yeah, Witness Gaming. They're just getting out of there.
Yeah, like there's a lot of damage back and forth, but Witness Gaming, we're escaping.
Oh no, he's not.
Oh no. That might be the game. Look, Benny's just thinking on the point. It's on, that's their game. GG, or at least the map. Excuse me.
That's the map. Yeah.
Map. Yeah. Words are hard. So on that note, we Froyotech are gonna win 5-1 on Metalworks. Their map pick. So definitely Froyotech one more map and they win it. Witness Gaming gotta win out.
Yeah. Next up, I think it's gonna be Granary. And not Snake is the last one, so it's gonna be Granary next. That is, I don't know. I remember who picked that one.
No.
To double check.
Yeah, not GG. Stay tuned.
That was the Witness Gaming pick. They picked Granary.
Yeah.
They played a bit of Granary. They played it last series. I think they played it in the regular season as well. They did fine.
Did we watch? Which team was it that played against the bot mode team on Granary? I remember watching a match with that team on Granary. Was that Witness Gaming?
Witness did that twice. They did it recently in the playoffs run. I think it was the one they weren't casting. And that was also the very first match that we casted this season was a Witness versus G6 match. So I mean, I guess it makes sense. This is a map that you're probably somewhat familiar with. They're also probably they have an idea of for mid fight since it's such a very mid heavy map. If you don't start off well in the mid fights, then you kind of don't really get a foothold into the map to actually play the game. It's also very soldier favored, and it really enables the Ash and Last combo that shines through every once in a while. So I guess it makes sense for the pick, but the question is with Froyotech kind of thrown this ball, what are they going to do to put up their own game as well?
Yeah, and I have to see. I do think we used to have our correct score guessers. Shout out to I see FX and Sand in there actually. So some players I know, along with some loyal viewers and. And going to Granary, I feel like Granary and Metalworks do have some overlap, but there's definitely are some big differences. The biggest thing that stays the same to me is that the rollouts are still, just big old jogs.
Yeah, it's a long walk. I guess the thing that is important is it's pretty linear, which means the S shape doesn't really give you a whole lot of room to like cut people off, like just through shortcuts and stuff like that. Very high skybox. You can win or lose off the fact of soldier bombs existing onto important classes. So it shares some similarities, but it's definitely one of those maps where it's not really a It's also it's not a pug staple, so it's not like it's spammed, all the time, and
Yeah,
you're
it's not
getting
like
crazy
Processor
familiar with it
Snake.
to the same degree. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I guess we'll see
or even
what's thrown
Gully.
onto the table.
Yeah, I do remember from the last time we watched this map. I believe on mid we might see it again. The Laz bomb onto the lamppost. I believe. I believe that was Laz. Somebody would
I
bomb
think
onto.
so.
Yeah, Laz would bomb onto the lamp on mid, and literally, I think it was Logan. Something like they literally would even stick Eat off preemptively. He'd still do it, and it worked. So, Witness Gaming definitely have like a lot of back pocket strats. I feel like that they can bring out on this map. And Froyotech, a lot of boomers on Froyotech, so they definitely know this map in and out.
True. All right. Well, it's let's see. It's been a bit. We've been watching for a while. Might be a good idea to take a break, take a breather, go do what you need to do, go AFK. Maybe we'll run an ad or two so they don't run in the middle of the game or anything silly in case this goes for 4 maps, because that would be very unfortunate. But we'll take like a 60-second breather. We'll be right back, and stay tuned. We have returned, and so is Granary. Granary is a map that brings a lot of nostalgia for good and bad reasons. It's definitely it's definitely one of those maps that you either love it or hate it. But either way, here we are, and I want to say that it's probably. I mean, obviously, for every 5CP map, the mid fights are important. It's a key to your victory. But I want to say that Granary is a little bit more swingy in terms of it can be the main thing that you perfect and get good at to just straight up win you the map in general compared to other maps in the pool.
It's also one of those maps where you can lose mid before it kind of even starts.
True.
Like your demo can roll out and just vaporize, and it's just that's your mid. And same thing with like medics. This is one of those maps where if your medic dies on mid, it's like almost expected. Like it's just a lot of people explode on this map.
What I'm really curious about when it comes to mid fights is it wasn't necessarily a staple because the mechanics of it were really I guess for invite it's not hard, but I guess in general it's hard because everything's relative, right? But the fast rollout for Roamer, you can get there, like steal your demo and its pack just to like kill the other demo or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm kind of curious if we're gonna see any of that. We've seen that from Froyotech teams in the past. I wouldn't put it past Jaya to go ahead and try to do something like that.
I wouldn't put it past Laz either. Some good old
That's
Laz
also true.
Yeah, Laz technology, definitely very powerful.
We've seen, I think Laz and Ash have pretty much been just double bomb mode, especially with Laz landing on top of the light. But I mean, you can only do that so much before it becomes kind of expected and starts to be countered a little bit. So it really is going to come down to mids a lot, I think, this map, just because. I mean, we talked about it in Metalworks. If you do not come out strong and there's a deficit to work against, you're done for the map.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. And with everything starting at the mid, if you just win hard enough where somehow your medic stays alive and you just kill theirs immediately, then I mean it's pretty much all said and done. I think it's kind of I think it's harder to mess up a Granary last push than a Metalworks one. So we'll see how
Yeah,
this kind of goes, I suppose.
it is pretty wide open. Although as opposed to previous iterations of Granary, there is still you can't just bang anybody at the spawn. You have to run all the way in. So definitely it throws a bit of a wrinkle for the defenders. And one thing I will say that as you mentioned, Granary is very swingy. It goes back and forth. But if it does stalemate out, there is a reason why Granary is sometimes called the 7 CP, because it kind of has a first you have to push yard, and then you have to push into the actual second point, depending on how the game is going.
True. You can have some back and forth matches, but that back and forth area just never has to do with one of the teams eventually taking last, because the amount of ground that you can take might not be extremely high. One thing I will say that when I first saw this map was being played, I kind of assumed it was a Froyotech pick, mostly because it seems like Froyotech is very keen on sending someone behind. Like we saw it plenty of times with Metalworks Bandy going behind. We saw on Bagel with trying to get Slime NJ behind. The 2 times that we've seen them play Bagel against this team. And Granary is a map where if you can find a way to get someone behind, you can just immediately threaten so much so quickly when it comes to poking around on their second or poking around on their last. I mean, granted, you have to make sure you own control of the mid, since going behind and screwing around on mid doesn't do as much because the cap takes a bit. But it's actually Witness that picks this map. So Witness is the one that has the plan going into it. It's like, yeah, we're comfortable on this, let's do this. And Froyotech kind of has to adjust, but it feels like they're probably not too mad about this map pick. I could assume it feels like this plays well into them.
Yeah, it's definitely Witness definitely were confident to pick it, but definitely Froyotech definitely I wouldn't count them out on this map. This might be a kind of a Bagel situation where it's very tight for both teams.
Just slower paced gaming, though.
Yeah, not nearly as exciting as Bagel. Although you never know. But definitely yeah. I must say it is kind of, I'm not gonna say nice, but it's interesting to see a lot of the old maps come back. Maybe you'll see the rare and famed Badlands return that all the boomers have been complaining about for the past 80 years.
Well, you never know. But
you never know.
We are reaching the under 60-second mark, so that's always good to have. So not too much longer till we go live. I guess let's go ahead and talk a little bit about let's talk about predictions. What do you think is gonna happen on Granary here?
I'm kind of hungry, so maybe in terms of time, I hope we have a good match, but I'm gonna say Froyotech 5 to 3.
I don't really know what I want to do for predictions for this map.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard call. If Froyotech wins this map, though, I can go get food. But I'm very excited to see. I honestly, what's the second map? Snakewater. I'd love to see Snakewater too. That's
part of me kind of.
Snakewater?
Yeah, part of me kind of agrees with the Froyotech 5-3. I feel like as long as they can get a foothold on mids, because Witness Gaming has kind of showcased themselves playing on Granary already recently, Froyotech might have a strong opening here, which is good. It's huge for the longevity of the match.
Yeah.
The deficit. You don't want to dealing with stuff in halftime. But we are going live. We've gone through the long rollout. We get to see where the domain rollout. Both are actually going cat, a little bit weak, trying to put some early damage out. Habib will succeed in getting the first damage sticky onto Artist. A little bit fake from Laz, not committing, but the side of the Froyotech are jumping on a low guy. Not take too much damage. Yeah, oh, he will finally die. Not too much damage on him early on, but will get cleaned up. It is Artist and Yite left alive. Last one's Artist, AJP. Yeah, this is probably a little bit more.
Yeah,
you can choose.
Yite on a solo mission now, but trying to win the 1v3, unable to win the 1v3. Both medics vaporized on the same exact ticket to the game, and Banny's already running at the second, trying to go for something cheeky, or maybe even get the second point, depending on how fast Witness are.
Yeah, just starting the cap early. They should know that they're this aggressive, but it's going to be shown immediately with the cap. Some early stickies off. It's going to be huge to make sure that Witness has a really hard time of walking back in, but they know that because May is rolling out, that any damage done here is there for a long while, and damage on Habib is enough to make them feel comfortable about immediately recapping this. So, Froyo got forwards maybe, if that.
Yeah, I think the play there was maybe Witness would panic and walk into the trap that Habib had just set up, but Witness Gaming wisely took it kind of slow. So they, kind of settling into the classic yard to second Granary stalemate. Honestly, one of the TF2 all-time classic stalemates.
True. I can only imagine it's a matter of time before we see a a lunchbox rotation or something like that. Although we've seen a couple teams that decided to try to just brute force their way through the point to try to get the sack through that way. We do have Lil Guy sitting up on top of the little the balcony. He's climbed his way up here, so it's going to be a bit rough. He does have his back against the wall for spam if someone managed to get through there, but to get there in the first place, it's going to be a tough call. But
Banie's like behind
the rotation.
Banie was actually behind looking at drop down, interestingly enough, while they were doing that big lunchbox rotation. So definitely a Froyotech on the ball in terms of making sure they aren't the ones getting flanked here.
Yeah, a little bit of paranoia goes a long way and definitely helps.
He's still there.
And I mean, Mirman could see it by now that that no one's going down there.
Yeah.
Their entire team is there. I guess they don't know per se that they're this deep in lunch. I guess they're not communicating it.
Yeah.
They're shoving out Witness a little bit.
Yeah, Habib gonna get a bow and can actually peek Shutter pretty aggressively, setting up traps here. Yeah, Habib is kind of alone in their Shutter, while Froyotech really are just, they're doing like this very slow developing kind of lunchbox play where they get everybody in position and now they're trying to do stuff.
Yep, and this is oh, Slemnus
behind. There we go. That was, I think that was the plan. That is going to be a nuisance. They're sending Laz with a buff back to deal with him, it looks like, but...
Oh, Laz just wanted ammo, I think.
Oh, did he want ammo? Okay.
Yeah, I think he just wanted ammo. You have to go back for all the way to Laz, but it's going to be Yite that goes back. Laz is here too, going to clean up Slumnish, and I guess that's technically the sack for the side of Froyotech. Immediately, you have a couple of people going forward. Yite's going to take a lot of damage, and they're able to get Habib. That's huge. Ash.
Yeah,
they do. Kill.
They trade Laz for Habib, and I'd definitely take that trade. You know, they still have a Mirror Man kind of roaming behind. He does get spotted by Yite, so nice play there by Yite, spotting Mirror Man to make sure he doesn't get that flank off for free. And now Witness Gamer are kind of a... Froyotech are still really close. They don't really seem to care that they lost Habib, and they're actually going to lose Yite trying to chase out Mirror Man.
Yeah, I think Witness Gaming expected Froyotech to just back up, and they were kind of thrown for a loop when they saw that Froyotech was on the other side of the map, still near the Shutter, and just wasted so much time. They able to get Mirror Man, so the sack's not really going to work out, but Habib is already respawned and catching up to the Shutter. Laz is back a little bit, going to have to be careful about his health, but at the end of the day, I think Witness Gaming were kind of caught off guard with Froyotech's positioning. They just wasted so much time, and are not really able to do anything off of the picks they got.
Yeah, definitely. We can tell that the Froyotech want to take this very carefully, just sacking in here, because I think they know that if they lose this, it's really disastrous if they have a very bad sack and lose a bunch of people that they don't intend on it.
Yeah, their positioning kind of netted them holding on to Yard the first time, but the second time, I'm not so sure if the surprise factor is going to be in their favor. They have both soldiers. Go ahead and they're in lunchbox. They're ready to go. I mean,
yeah,
they do have to get through that. They're applying some spam.
Really
they're inside each other's hitbox, and that is a lot of spam.
Was deliberately trying to avoid.
The scouts are on the chase. Habib's able to get out, but the rest of the team, rest of the explosive classes plus Slumnish will not be so lucky. So with 3 picks, that's a free Yard, and they found the other. They're getting through the other door. They're through choke.
Yeah, they picked the correct door here. Now Froyotech are kind of in an unfortunate situation because they can't go through garage, and now they're gonna have to take this 3-man Uber. Habib gets so hurt they have to pop this early, and they're gonna lose Brand Slam. But this Witness Gaming Uber looks better. Banny's running behind and they have to chase Banny. Artist might almost fall. They flash Artist in the last second, but look at Banny. He's still going behind. This is such a massive distraction. He's on last.
And Habib jumping forward. The Mirror Man spam as well. Ash, Logai, Laz, Artist, they're all dead. It's just Yite left alive. And all because Banny just ran behind and made no one hold forward, hold any of these chokes. The rest of Froyotech just funneled through the doorways into Yard, cleaned them all up, and now they've already gotten last. So, I mean, Witness Gaming, they're a little greedy. They wanted to hold on to the Uber, but they just let Banny run right past them, almost killed Artist. So much distraction. And that is going to net them the first round. Froyotech up 1-0.
Yeah, that was such a heads-up play to not even go for the back up or go for a kill, but just to keep holding W running behind, you know, just literally full sprint to enemy spawn. It was such a huge play from Banny, and you can really see in 5CP how dominant Banny is at just going for these flank plays. He's really so good at seeing these opportunities.
Gonna have some demo spam once again onto each of the catwalks. Ash might go in and bomb in onto B, but it's actually gonna be a high bomb over onto May. No damage on him yet. Gonna lose Laz and Mirror Man. Ash falling as well. So a lot of soldiers dead on the field. Both medics are at red HP, and I think Jay and Slem are they've entered the other team's garage. They found the positioning, and Witness Gaming are pretty much out into their own yard. They've recognized that there's no way they're gonna be able to hold on to those chokes, and especially with no soldiers alive, just cut their losses.
Yeah, and speaking of chokes, looks like Froyotech are trying to spam through, he's trying to peek through garage, but Artist doing a good job blocking it out, but it's only one demo versus a bunch of players, and he does that to get onto Jay, but the flank of Froyotech is already behind again.
Yeah, with no spamming classes, it's just Artis. Eventually he has to stop and reload, and that's just the opportunity for Jay and Slem to go behind. They're in on 2, and it's going to be difficult for them to really hold on to this. Artis, 5 HP, gets arrow, but it's not enough. Mirrorman going to go ahead and jump in and give up his life for that Slemness. He's looping around. He's showing himself by getting on top of the point. A lot of damage on the last. Jay actually coming in to try to help and clean up the frags, and the rest of Froyotech has run their way through. Ash is behind, going to clean up by the side of Bandy, so they're going to go ahead and make sure that that is not something they have to worry about, and it's just Brandsam and Lowguy left alive, with the rest of the team in shambles, dead, and they're around the corner. Maybe Chad Uber play to buy time?
Yep,
It looks like they might want to.
Maybe they're just waiting for this one, but they're going to drop Brandsam.
Melts.
And it instantly ties the Habib and Manny, and that's just yeah, that's all she wrote for that hold. And now Witness Gaming back on their last. This is so far looking very dominant for Froyotech.
Yeah, they are definitely looking pretty good right now for the side of Froyotech. Gonna try to go ahead, yeah, Mirrorman jumping in, gonna meet some traps, so not gonna be able to really get through and have a chance to get on the wall guy. Brand Slam as respawned on Sniper. I guess maybe they're anticipating maybe like a Slam run back to spawn, or who knows, maybe he just wants to peek into the shutter to maybe get a drop onto Habib.
Habib getting a body shot. Yeah, that's I will say the Sniper losing Ash, though, that's definitely going to put a damper on this. And actually, Ransom going to get bombed, but just barely avoids getting air shot there. And we'll say the Sniper through the shutters and green relax is definitely a very powerful strategy. It's very hard, annoying to deal with as either side, really.
It pretty much forces you to hold exactly how Froyotech is holding for the most part.
Yeah,
they're going to go ahead and sack and slam. Oh, it's going to be a 2-man. Mirrorman coming in as well. Auto Artist and Brand Slam. He gets the Sniper.
Yeah, but still, they traded 2 for a Sniper, so Witness Gaming definitely going to want to try to do something off of this. The question is what they want to do, and it looks like they want to peek here, but Habib does have stickies. Actually, it's going to be a fight. Yeah, Jay just barely lives and is able to waddle his way to Lunchbox to safety, and that's it for the last hold, but Witness Gaming are 2 down, and Froyotech just want to push off that.
Yeah, they have a lot of room here. Even if they don't fully push, which they are, they so much room to work with. Immediately, Uber popped onto Ash, able to clean him. No Uber yet from the side of Witness Gaming will finally come out. We have one scout lingering behind. Bandy is trying to run around into the enemy team spawn over to the Rockets area. Last is trying to do some damage on him, but will not find success. The bomb coming in from both soldiers, just shooting down onto the point. And all these Witness Gaming players, they have complete high ground control right now. No one on Witness Gaming able to make sure that these soldiers are kept in check at the end of the day. Froyotech collects another round. It really feels like Witness Gaming is playing kind of greedy with these exchanges, and it's kind of biting for their positioning. Like, yeah, there's some merit to milking, but I feels like at the tail end of the Uber, they just don't really have anything to say for it.
Yeah, like, Mirrorman was just on the pipe shooting like 20 billion rockets down at Witness Gaming, and they just couldn't do anything about it. It was like, I just looked at like where the Froyotech soldiers were, and I was like, oh, they won this last fight, nice. So, yeah, definitely the post-Uber positioning from Froyotech is extremely powerful, and Witness Gaming,
May. They immediately melted.
Yeah, May entered mid and died instantly, and that was their mid. A nice bow coming out of Lol Guy. So this is actually a very successful mid fight from Witness Gaming so far. Just Habib left alive, who's where is he? Oh, he's trying to live.
He's in yard.
Keyword trying.
I will say that was peak Granary Medic right there.
Yeah, he turned a corner and instantly went to 1 health, like in the air.
That's what you kind of expect out of this map sometimes, but Witness Gaming will hold on to the mid strong, and they will have an Uber ad to work with. Both scouts are kind of poking forward to see if yard is free. You have to be careful of these Habib traps. Brandsam will start cleaning some of them now. There's still one more, and he's going to get cleaned up as well. So free yard, but not a free second. Froyotech having some sort of hold up here. Actually, May is up top, ready to retreat out to last if things go south, and it's going to be a lunchbox push from the side of Witness Gaming, and they are going to start to climb the stairs and meet exactly where Froyotech is.
Yep, but they do get that Mirrorman kill. Easily traded, though, for Brand Slam, so that's your combo scout down on those Uber push. That definitely gives Froyotech time to kind of build this Uber, although Jay dying might put a little damper on that, because now they don't have soldiers, and they might try to push anyway, because, you know, you're down Brand Slam, sure, but they're down 2 soldiers. You do have, you know, you can maybe go for exchange and actually...
Hate some damage there, too.
Oh wait, this is a force. That's a force.
And 2 soldiers in.
Slendish too.
That's huge. Not going to be able to really corner cap this too easily. It's just going to be Manny who is running
deep.
forward.
Oh, he wants this.
Artist gets the arrows though.
Just in.
He's behind once again though. 11
look
HP.
how deep Habib is. Look how hard Froyotech's committing. Banny's behind.
Banny's living?
He lived because Habib committed. And they forced this Uber. Banny's still alive.
What is happening? They're chasing through. They're able to get Habib finally. A lot of damage onto Jay. Bandy is still, he's in drop down going back to like the mid area to collect the pack inside garage. So he's still a thorn on their side, but that means there's only 4 people at last right now for the side of Froyotech.
He's going for the second cap, but he's getting spammed off of it. Heads up play there from I believe that's last shooting down at the point, but how's the last fight going in? It's going Witness Gaming, so I feel like for the first time on 5CP, the Bandy going behind finally, when this game, were able to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of just ignored him and because they felt like they kind of could. Because going behind when you don't have mid, you can't really outcap as easy in comparison. So
Yeah.
it's not as strong. So it's finally a moment where Witness Gaming says that we don't care that Bandy's gone behind. We're just going to 6v4, 5v4 last. And they net around, so starting to even up the game, but we'll see what happens after the next mid fight.
Yeah, Laz did a great job there, making sure that Bandy couldn't just cap that for free. But on that note, okay, May is able to arrive at mid, and he's already almost dead. He actually, he gets the pack. That was huge. Witness just exploded up. They sold out for May, and May just barely lived. So,
a very, very dominant Froyotech mid.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, if they get May there, they could kind of salvage it, but no dice there. And Habib's already walking into last.
Yeah, this is one of those maps where you can immediately start pressuring.
Yeah, Habib knows what he can get away with. He has spawn trapped. Is somebody going to walk into it?
Oh, they might. They might. I doubt Laz is like said the other side's trapped. Yeah, Ash is dead.
There he goes. They're Ubering into spawn.
Into the rocket area. They're able to kill Laz and Ash. And now the spawn cam's even deeper on the other side. Artist almost is dead, but he has to run for it because they're on the cap.
That is
what happened. See, this is why I said it's so important, even more so, for the mids. Because if your mid is just that good and you wipe them, they lost one person and they still had enough gas in the tank. Just go straight to last, leave one, start spawn camping, and Uber straight into their spawn, lock it all down, and that is just off of the mid alone. So Froyotech, it's not their map pick, but it's looking like it might have been. They're leading this half 3-1.
Yeah, Froyotech feeling very, very confident on Granary. You can tell that this is a map that they might have even debated picking themselves.
I mean, it makes sense. At a certain point, when it comes to the final maps, there's some merit for okay, it makes sense why this team left this map in. It wasn't banned. I didn't feel like it was a big deal, that it was even-ish, and it's more than even-ish for the side of Froyo. They're doing a pretty good job, and the mid alone is providing pretty well for them. There's even margins where they're not even winning that much by when it comes to the mid fights, and it's still just barely enough.
Because Granary.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you lose 2 soldiers compared to 1, even still because it's Granary, that's just enough for you to straight up win the mid. The other team leaves. I think that was the story of maybe the second or third mid. Witness Gaming lost 1 soldier or 2 soldiers, and Froy only lost 1, so Witness Gaming just kind of left.
Yeah, definitely. It's if again, like we said, if Witness Gaming cleans up their mids and starts winning these mids, this could very easily snowball the other way. But with how Froyotech's looking, I would be surprised if they were able to pull it off, just because they're not out of it yet, but they have a 2-round deficit to work in, which means they really can't afford to lose any more mid fights.
And you have Banny and Habib running 2 deaths right now, less than their medic.
Yeah, I think they're the oldest players in the server, so yeah, the Boomers are quite enjoying the Boomer map. What a shock.
And it's even more crazy because Banny is still doing the thing where he runs behind.
Yeah.
But in doing that, he's done it 2 or 3 times now, it's still not net him a death. It's just created so much space. Although, I guess you could say the last time that it happened, it didn't really... I guess it started to do something at the beginning. He bought some space and stuff, and then his team eventually lost last. But still, as an individual play, that's definitely very good if you can go behind as a 1, 2 distract, 3 maybe get a kill or something, and then 4 not even die afterwards.
Yeah.
The fact that you can do that in general on this map against a certain team is definitely a very good tool to have. So
you probably know better than me that. Isn't that the old, super old Froyotech play on this map? Was you just, send Clockwork running behind and just everyone has to go chase Clockwork around the map? It feels like kind of the same thing, but now Banny's doing it.
It's a classic stalemate break. And then there was versions of Froyotech where they, really old versions where, that was pretty much just try to find a way to get someone behind, try to force a weird 1v1. Because if they send back 2, then all of a sudden, there's a 5v4 that you can take advantage of and do, another sack or, an exchange if it looked really good, so yeah, they're definitely finding a lot of good use in that regard.
And it looks like I believe Froyotech readied up, so Witness Gaming definitely they're definitely debating. They're back on the drawing board, trying to figure out what they can do with these mids, maybe some of these transitions too, but mainly the mids. I feel like if they can clean those up, that's definitely a big way to get back into this game.
Yeah, and they definitely need to for their sake, because if Froyotech wins this map, that's GG. That's because Froyotech has the map advantage. They won Metalworks. If they win Granary, that's all she wrote for this season. So you definitely want to spend as much time as possible to make sure that when you arrive to mid that you don't immediately explode or anything silly like that, and that you can get yourself in a good spot to kind of flip the script and start putting more rounds on the board than the half prior.
Yeah, definitely. It's I'm curious to see too if Froyotech makes any adjustments themselves. I believe we saw this season once where Witness Gaming kind of lost the first half pretty hard. Like it wasn't like Metalworks last time where Witness were in it and then they kind of lost it. I believe it was Process. Witness were kind of like they just kind of got owned the first half. And because Froyotech won so hard, they didn't really have any adjustments to make. So then the Witness Gaming adjustments were really strong in the second half, and that went to like their golden cap or something. So we might see one of those scenarios here where, you know, Froyotech kind of won that half so hard. They only got mid to lasted kind of, that Witness Gaming might be able to come out strong here just off of their adjustments, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, because Granary can, I don't know, I guess it can still be really dominant. Part of me kind of feels like Witness Gaming will be able to find something, because let's be real, for Granary, there's so many mid strategies that I can only imagine they probably see maybe at least like one or two that they feel like they can catch Froyo off guard with to like force them to adjust. So Froyotech will probably do some sort of adjustment eventually, but the question is by how much will they really need to? Because I mean, I think like it's much different than the other maps we've seen where it was kind of even like a little bit at first, and then Froyotech started to get their foot in the door. This felt really, really Froyotech dominant, even though Witness Gaming got that round.
Yeah,
so I guess we'll see how it adjusts.
Yeah, we'll have to see going into this second half for Witness Gaming. This is do or die time. You gotta get those 2 rounds to at least tie it to force a golden cap, or get more than 2, and you can win this map and go on to the final map. But yeah, Froyotech just need to hold on and make sure they win this map, and they win RGL season whatever 9, whatever season.
Season 7.
I don't know. Numbers are hard.
Close enough. It's an odd number, but bombs. Always on the. He immediately gets countered on the lamp pretty hard, and falling as well. A lot of Witness Gaming players in the grave, and caught in the choke maybe. Artist trying to get out, will escape, but yeah, they were very prepared for that last bomb on the light. They definitely saw that coming.
Yeah, they probably watched the match between Witness Gaming and G6 where Laz just abused that over and over, and they said, if Laz does this, we counter that. That's what they do, and it looks like Froyotech are gonna like to take this kind of, not really a lunchbox push. They are peeking from that area though, just trying to make some space. Ubers are even, and the Witness Gaming reinforcements are here. Slemdish is behind though, taking a 1v1, and is gonna lose the 1v1. Merman also gonna fall, but they do get the force. Big force trading 3. Yeah, for 3, it's all dependent on how hard can Froyotech hold onto this mid.
Yeah, they had to give up yard, which, I mean, this is why you technically call it a 7 CP map in some instances, because they had to give up some ground for it. So back to mid they go, but I mean, that's all they really lost, so maybe they're just more confident pushing in. Or maybe, I didn't really see, maybe one of them wasn't supposed to die. I definitely saw the soldier use the distraction for sure to get that force, so May at 100% Uber low guy. Yeah, it's been a bit, so he's at 50, but it's still a long way to go, and with the entire team of Froyotech sitting in the garage and looking like they're trying to figure out, do they bust straight through and go to the left, or do they go head over to the right?
Or busting in the sense that
drop down. Last with the timing on May.
He gets the force. That's a huge force too, and they lost Brand Slam though to Mirror Man, so that's kind of big. Ash in the corner though, gonna kill Habib. Heads up play from him, and the Froyotech scouts are hurt. Ash is gonna actually chase out all of this Uber.
Yeah, this Uber from Yai.
Okay, they got him.
Bandy bought a lot of time, but I don't think it's going to matter. It's just Slem left alive.
Yeah, Slem is behind. I think they know, or at least they have some idea.
They might. They don't know where
they know he doesn't have to leave his medic. Here comes the 1v1. Now they know, but I think they're sending people back for him.
Now they can't take yard very efficiently.
Yeah.
He's still lingering around. He got Artist.
He got Artist, and there's still 6 people chasing him.
He takes the packet. Okay, he bought a lot of time, killed the demo. The Witness Gaming cannot take yard. That solo got Froyotech yard, even though May he hasn't even entered it yet. He just got here.
Yeah, that actually, like, Froyotech players going behind is buying so much time. It's insane. And, like, Witness do have a small, like, kind of baby yet to work with, but Froyotech kind of want to push before that happens, it looks like.
Yeah, they're trying to use it to their advantage, getting on top of the point. Artist only just barely got here. They are 90%.
They're going to lose Habib.
Habib peaked and just died.
I think they lose Jay too, and Witness Gaming does have the small ad to work with. May is leaving and not healing. He started healing now, so 30% to work with. Look how deep Ash is. They know that they have a small window here to really get it and maybe even take mid, and Froyotech are just leaving.
Yeah, Froyotech are probably gonna get their Uber, but they do lose a lot of positioning here. So I guess Habib thought they were more passive than they were, but free mid and Witness there
Jay
wanted to
Sniper?
take right yard as well.
Yeah, Jay on the like kind of preemptive anti-sniper, anti-stack sniper in the forwards. We'll see. I'll have to see if he actually elects to leave or if he. Oh, there he goes. He left. And here comes the trade. Grand Slam onto. Oh, both teams exchange Ubers, and actually they're gonna drop Artist in the post, and their Ash is gonna fall too. Kind of a disaster for Witness.
Yeah, they had to flash so much there. Mirrorman flanked behind, got the Brand Slam kill. It was definitely. They were not prepared for the Uber exchange to go off in that exact spot and have that many players involved that needed to be able to be saved. So
yeah. Oh, they get the forwards though, so Habib might be a little caught out here. He's so
very
aggressive.
weak.
Yep,
The
they're
last
gonna get
point
Habib.
on to May.
They get J2. That was
lingering in right yard.
They got a little too greedy. They're kind of surprising for Froyo, but yeah, it's just Mirrorman here trying to go for a salvage play. He's gonna go behind. Oh boy, here we go again.
10 HP in a dream.
He's not gonna be able to get the
need.
back cap, but it's gonna be something they have to deal with. And with escape, I mean, Froyotech are gonna keep trying it till it stops working. Banny's on spy.
Banny's on spy. Mirrorman is so far away. He's just got the pack on two. The other team is trying to push his yard. If Banny's worked his way over into mid, it's going to be a little awkward because you have two players that aren't in a position to actually stop Witness Gaming from taking yard here. They're going to go into Lunchbox. They do have a full ad to work with. Immediately going through lower, popping in, trying to chase down Heave, dropped very low to 42 HP, will eventually die. Are they just going to leave one and keep going? I mean, the Spy and Soldier could come into play from the side of Froyotech here if they're not too careful. Immediately, you have people around. Decloak comes in, Bandy's distraction from Mirrorman, blocking the point. They're trying to get some damage in, but they will get cleaned up.
Huge plays from right there. Jason on the point trying to block it, but yeah, this is going to be a tall order for Froyotech to defend. Just the numbers. Yeah, that was
really awkward.
That was so awkward with spy timing and Mirrorman being behind. Like, they made a really noble attempt to block the point, but Yite kind of won that like 2v1 or 2v2, and that really saved Witness Gaming there. That Yite got both of those kills.
I think in hindsight, I don't know if they knew exactly that Mirrorman was behind, but in hindsight, I feel like you don't.
Go spy.
Well, you don't have two people behind that they could just. That's the one time that Witness Gaming took the round beforehand. Was because people were behind and they could ignore, and that was once again the case to an extent. But
yeah,
it's gonna be another mid.
Yeah, we'll have to see if who gets exploded instantly, and it looks like a lot of soldiers in the skybox. And again, May gonna eat a headshot rocket, but he actually stays alive for a little bit. But yeah, Witness Gaming might want to leave here because everyone's just dying left and right.
The beam is so deep. He's gonna get meleeed maybe by Logai, but just Logai left alive, even if he could not be able to get that kill.
Yeah, it's just Habib's gonna spawn camp again. Look at him go.
He might. Yeah, Mirrorman's going for the other pack.
He's gonna get a sticky offer too.
Yeah,
I don't know if they will expect this.
They can hear it hitting the shutter.
Let's see.
Yeah, they heard it.
He looked to 16. That was too close for comfort. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
They had their medic there, so I mean, he can get buffed and be comfortable.
Yeah.
He can only put so many stickies on it, but Mirrorman's he's escaping out of Lunchbox. He's alive. Same with Habib. So Witness Gaming will be able to hold on to, but that is about it. No yard adventures for them. Froyotech holding on to this yard area. Is this 20 ads supposed to exist, or is this just like an artificial, like they weren't building?
Artificial. Unless are they in crits? No, they're not in crits. Okay.
Actually, no, it's real because May died really early and Logai died super late.
Yeah,
so
that's where the ads.
So May knows it's real. So they're actually using it right now.
Oh,
80%,
look at this.
immediately popping through, going straight to last because they expect Logai to be extremely passive. They're just straight through. Artist dropped 11 HP. Might will eventually fall. Yep, given clean by the side of May.
They get Logai.
Or clean up by the side of May and Habib. Yeah, Logai falling as well.
They can work with these kills. It's just Habib and Slemdish, and look at the coordinated spam at the last. He delayed it in like 3 projectiles and passed him last. Gonna linger here, but can they get these kills? Habib's so low, they're gonna get these kills. It's just Slemdish and May, and they're gonna have this Uber ad, but they lost so many players that Witness Gaming able to hold on to second just barely.
Yeah, it was a good play from Freya recognizing the ad and immediately going like deep into the enemy team spawn area to like last. But I guess after the Uber, they bit off a little bit more than they could chew. I guess more particularly Habib thought he was much safer than he actually was. Maybe he was relying on a trap that didn't time right, but at the end of the day, it's still doable. They have an ad to work with once again. It's even bigger. Yeah. The only question is will Witness Gaming be more prepared this time around because it's more pronounced of an ad. So
they also
we'll see how things go.
They're scouts staring at the shutter, so they know. Froyotech trying to figure out how they want to push this. They're not. I feel like they're trying to figure out whether they want to actually commit to this or just take second for free.
Going upper.
Yeah, the
They're
spam
gonna go
is kind of
straight through
crazy,
again?
actually. A lot of spam. Froyotech is really... they're struggling
so
to take
much
this
time.
point. Yeah, they actually get Laz there, so, you know, the spam was crazy, but in the end they lost a player for it and didn't get anything in return. They got Uber, I guess, so there's that, but that's kind of it.
Yeah, one less set of eyes to watch the door. Immediately, Froyotech are just walking in. This is so much space. They could Uber exchange if they see something really good and like they're all corralled, or maybe just had a sack instead. But immediately, Uber exchange coming out. Bandit rushing forward. Damage on the Artist. Going to backlines to get some damage on Ash. Gonna get flashed to make sure he lives. And Ash will eventually die. Meanwhile, Brainstorm trying to get some damage on his Lemon. Will not find success in that endeavor. Bandit's still behind. He's able to kill Brainstorm. He's on the Logai now. He's left alone. Just Laz and Logai left alive. At the end of the day, Froyo pops first, but somehow Witness Gaming's positioning, they consistently popping second, can't find a way to hold control over their own area they're holding.
On the high ground. Like Jade, he did the mirror man where he just stood on the pipe and shot like 80 rockets down it, and nobody shot him.
And Banny was just behind again. He was behind inside their rocket area in spawn and just killed Brandsam and secured that kill.
Froyotech seemed very confident in their post fights, and they look so dominant. Like these Ubers for this gaming, you'd have to sweat about Froyotech taking more aggressive Uber exchanges. Artist gonna fall very low immediately, and here comes a bomb. Mirrorman gonna get a good damage off into the Froyo combo, but unable to feed up. Well, meanwhile, the Froyo combo's gonna die, but Jay salvages and gets Mirrorman.
Yeah, just Banny left alive, but Witness Gaming isn't super healthy. Froyotech's taking a 1v1. Does he know that his team can't really help him? He's getting weak himself. They're gonna have to take turns fighting him. Oh, the last rocket.
That was it, yeah.
That might have been having to deal with Bandy behind if that rocket wasn't his. So that's definitely good for the side of Witness Gaming, and this is definitely a spot they need to be in securing this mid, because you know, one more round for Froyotech, and Froyotech not only takes the map but takes the series. But crits on the field for the side of Logai. They're saying,
yeah, they know they need to shake something up.
Yeah.
At least they got the mid, and they know that like they have 19 minutes left to get what, 3 rounds, 2 rounds.
I mean, they could, yeah. They can get 2 rounds, and they can get 2 rounds and tie it.
Yeah.
But
I think if you're Witness Gaming, Arcade playing the tie here, and
what's
just
happening with the build rate? What is this ad? It's
who's building?
This is not good for the side of Witness. I don't think they're building, and Froyo are.
I think he might have not been below the building.
Froyotech is also in the other yard that you wouldn't expect them to be in. If they blind crits through here, oh no, Uber's coming in. This is not what Witness Gaming wanted. They're gonna drop Artists. The crits is eventually used, but they're on Uber players. It denies Beerman, but that's about it. They're stuffed into a corner, and Froyotech now has a positional advantage. They've lost a couple people though. They've lost Slim Mission Baby. They weren't beamed, so there is a saving grace for the side of Witness Gaming, despite the crits not going in their way.
Yeah, it's just
super deep. Same with Laz. So much damage onto Jay, but it's gonna get beat. Then maybe it's caught, but he gets 2. He gets Laz and Ash, and now they're back in. Damage on a Brandsam, pushing him back into the garage. Jay's on the chase, trying to put some extra damage, but they are not weak enough to secure the kill. We teeter-totter back and forth between great plays and mishaps, and that is not the way I expected that play to go.
Habib, I don't know how that happened, but Habib just pulled a miracle out and got those 2 kills. He single-handedly saved Froyotech from like potentially losing that round.
And this is why crits is like so high risk, because now the surprise factor is gone. I mean, it didn't even
pressure is there though.
It didn't even feel like Froyotech were gonna ever be surprised by how they were positioned, but still they.
Here comes the crits. I hear crit stickies, and Froyotech are so far out, but so they get yard off this.
Other yard. They're in the other yard. They're looping around though. Yeah, they have to get out through choke.
Hurt though. Yeah, the Froyotech have to back up because they know they're getting back now. Oh, this is so scuffed.
Fighting Habib. Now the shoe's on the other foot.
Yeah, now they have a. We'll see how Froyotech deals with a player behind, and they do manage to get him down, but Froyotech have Uber here, and Witness Gaming are just building up another crits. Witness Gaming still in the other yard. Froyotech, like, it looks like they want to go into. Okay, yeah, they finally do a lot of damage in this choke.
Oh, Ash is gonna die. Oh, maybe? Oh yeah, he does die. That's 2 deaths though on your retreat.
Froyotech still have Uber red.
Yeah, you don't even get a 4 set mid.
Look at that, they're still going.
Yeah, you have to give up yard too, potentially. You don't have the respawners here. If Laz dies here, that's even worse for the side of Witness. Froyotech are on the chase. They're able to clean that kill. They've pretty much taken multiple points in a row.
They're gonna get forwards. Oh, they get Banny and
Habib! They killed the taunting Banny! He kills the taunting Banny and the Habib frag. So immediately, that's great for the side of Witness. They're able to get a little bit of a foothold, but, I mean, they gotta keep having that happen with the crits if they want to be able to break out and be able to work their way towards Froyotech's last. Mirrorman jumping forward, getting some damage. Still trying to hold on to this door very aggressively, but Witness Gaming is finally able to break through.
Nice
onto Slendish with the cleanup. Slendish and Habib. They're cleaning up so hard right now. It's just Laz and Laz isn't even there. Logai eventually dies, and this is for all intents and purposes. It could be the air shot from Habib. This is for all intents and purposes. This
Danny
could very well be
GG in chat
GG.
already. Oh no.
It could be. Look at the respawners. They
Yeah.
barely have any time to set up. They still have to walk through the rocket area. Habib is already there setting up traps.
Yeah, this might be it. Danny's not. He's
not
looking
point.
to hit the BM.
Oh man.
Oh boy. All right, that's a GG Froyotech for your Season 7 RGL Invite champions.
That is not how I expected the last like 4 minutes of this match to go.
That was something. I don't even know what adjectives to describe that with.
Well, yes, Froyotech are your Season 7 Invite Championships. They're able to take back the crowns against Witness Gaming here on Granary, overall winning the set. Probably take a little bit of a look at the logs, but this was quite the series we had ahead of us.
Yep, we do have looks like we do have Habib in the waiting room. I'm sure Vanny will probably join soon. But yeah, that was. I'm not gonna say it's a miscue from Witness Gaming on the Granary map pick, but I feel like they're gonna be kicking themselves over that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we can ask and see how Freud players felt about it. We've gotten some people coming in. We can slowly unmute them out of the mumble. I think Jay's on the way as well.
I can do that.
Yeah, go ahead and start. I think we're getting most of the team. Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, I see a lot of gamers coming in.
I think we got everyone but Slam coming in.
Oh, why not Slam?
Hello.
He's not in the mood, I
He's
don't
not an
think.
interview guy.
He
Unfortunate.
used his energy to smite them, and now
Slam
he's
Probably has work
chilling.
tomorrow.
Slim is a quiet boy.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, congrats on your guys' a victory.
Justice has been served.
Yep.
I like
I
this
guess-
little back and forth we got going on.
Bring Mirman
needs to
in.
be moved. Yeah.
Let's drag him.
That is here. Oh, maybe it's the DC. Whatever.
All right. Well, I guess we got to run through the maps. Let's talk about them. I got a couple to talk about. Most importantly, Bagel. We've seen it every single playoff game. It was picked against you. You wasn't able to find the success last time, but it was still a really competitive game. Can you guys talk a little bit about the ups and downs of Bagel, and if it led you to think about anything throughout the rest of the series that you did find a whole lot of success in to a much larger degree?
Well, if you want to compare Bagel to the rest of the maps, obviously it's a different game type. So the things that were working for them on Bagel and the things that weren't working for us on Bagel weren't really relevant throughout the rest of the series, to be honest. I think that we just misplayed Bagel. It was a very small margin that we lost it on. It was their map pick, so, we weren't too worried about it, the fact that we lost it, and we made it incredibly close. They couldn't come close on any of our picks, so at the end of the day, if we play, proper game types that don't play into their single ability, which is to double bomb the medic, then, we have a pretty good chance of winning. We kind of learned that lesson last season, obviously. We played too much into their hands last season in the grand finals, and they just double bombed our medic, and so we lost. When they can't do that, what do they have left? You know what I mean? We just outplay them.
Speaking of the map, and so looking at the map pool, how did you guys feel about the map pool? Specifically, maybe even that Granary pick. It seemed you guys were very comfortable in it.
That was their biggest mistake. I have 5 years of experience just playing on that map. I don't know what they were thinking. They're all Zoomers.
Yeah, Granary is not a map that we are, particularly practiced on, but the experience that me and Habib at least have on that map definitely comes into play there. So we weren't worried about it. We knew what to expect. They did pretty much exactly what we expected. Obviously, there was a little bit of chaos. We did overchase a little bit and got in some weird situations, but that was more on us. It wasn't them really putting us there. So we felt pretty much in control on that map. It was just textbook.
except for some of Banny's ADHD calls. Habib, locked them out, and then I died instantly.
That's not ADHD. That's me.
That's a hyperactive calm. I can't react that fast.
Well, I expect great things from you, Habib. It's
Great
okay.
things happened.
And he delivers.
I deliver.
So you guys talked a little bit about them doing a lot of double bombs against you guys. So I can only imagine throughout time that's something that you quickly figure out how to adapt to in the best possible way. So I guess the question kind of goes over to May, as you notice that more often throughout fights you become the target that they're really gunning for. What kind of adjustments do you think you really made throughout the series, or maybe even throughout the playoffs run, that put you in a better spot most of the time?
The biggest thing is not hitting MK surfs, which is like surfing away from the rest of your
Into
team and
the
then
enemy team.
dying on the opposite
MK.
side. So
What a
that's like the
throwback.
biggest thing. Be like with your team, and then the other main adjustment I made was just like trying to make it as hard as possible for them to hit rockets on me, at least like good rockets. And if they were hitting good rockets on me, it was like their final rockets that they were getting off. So as long as we like killed them fast enough, then I would live. And that's what was happening a lot on like granary middles, especially. So I was just able to live, and then we would kill their medic sometimes. So that was kind of hype.
This question can pretty much go to probably everyone except Habib, since he doesn't really go behind. But it seemed like throughout a large chunk of the playoff run, including tonight, there were many moments where the play that launched you guys to a lot of success in different moments was the fact that someone found their way behind, they made the play, they got the force, they got 2 kills, they kind of equalized a situation that otherwise would have been bad. To anyone that might have been in those moments, was that something that you guys deliberately try to plan out as a strategy throughout the playoffs, or was that something you just kind of like saw an opening or like, sure, I'll take that?
Well, we definitely, I was encouraging everyone to go for that kind of stuff because I wanted everyone to just play confident. I know that the way that WG plays, they want to just have you sell out everything to like get their medic, and he just milks forever, and then you just like get counter popped on. And I was more inclined to create a little bit more chaos, pull them in multiple directions, and I think that they really struggled when needing to make that choice. Not to mention, you know, I would run behind and kill 4 people, but you know, it was just playing confident really, and just not letting it be on their terms. We just always wanted them to play uncomfortable.
Okay, that makes sense. So for overall the series, obviously everyone kind of plays their part. You know, the soldiers make space, Habib does a lot of damage, everyone does their part to make sure that kills are secured. But I think throughout the series, I mean, you probably have some flashback to some moments where some great plays happened. Can all of you give me a little bit of an idea of who you think was a key part in your guys' victory, your MVP, so to speak?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I mean, definitely huge MVP to May for handling the pressure when their one strat is to kill him. And
that was huge. That was
and May
massive.
withstands it, you know.
His composure stayed firm.
Yep, exactly.
You should have
Big
taken it
plays
in
all
stride.
around. Also, big shout out to Mirrorman. Lots of big plays from him. I'd say, you know, last season for sure. It was his first season at the very top of Invite, and I think that maybe took him 2 seasons, but now he's entering Savage mode, which is exactly what we were hoping for.
Gander made me wake my Savage up.
I started competitive TF2 7 years ago, and I finally won Invite. It's been a long time coming.
Let's go.
What about the rest of you guys? What do you think about when you think about your teammates finding a whole lot of success? Who had moments where they carried you to victory? Habib, Jay, Mir, May?
Throughout the match, I always felt like going back to upper bracket finals, I felt like, you know, I was just me like rolling over. This grand finals, it was a complete opposite. I felt like I was playing much more of a supportive like soldier to Mirrorman actually. I like to think I helped a lot for my teammates to succeed.
Yeah, Jay? Obviously, dude, you're the fucking GOAT. Oh shoot, F word.
You're fine.
Did you use the spoon at all tonight, Jay?
No.
More conservative with it tonight. I respect it.
I only saw like one spoon. I think Ash spooned Jay at some point at the very end of a fight. That was like the only spoon
Yeah,
I
when
think
he
we
was
saw.
stacking on Law Guy, yeah.
Yeah, it was like only other than that one, that was literally it.
So I think throughout the it was kind of back and forth throughout the season when it came to the classic like, oh, soldiers do the same thing and are at the same target. But I feel like, I mean, there's obviously a time and a place for that, but it felt like that was a little bit less from the side of you guys when it came to Jay and Mirrorman. You found your success elsewhere. Jay, you mentioned that you're playing more supporty. Can you guys talk a little bit about either the playoff run or the season in general, how you guys found success as a pair, and if it wasn't just like shooting the same thing, then where else do you think that you guys found your place within the team to find your success?
I think I just got tunneled more. Like I kind of made them shoot at me, and Mirrorman just did everything.
It's a valid strat.
True. Just one be the
Yeah.
meat shield and the other one does the damage.
Yeah, I definitely think that different people are getting focused in this match, maybe more so than other matches. Like,
Yep.
I definitely felt like I was getting focused. It might have been my misplay on Bagel, but I was dying a lot. Jay, maybe getting shut down as well.
For me,
Habib too.
for me, Bagel felt like June 6th, 1944.
Yeah, we needed a little more
right.
historical.
Second and half, I might have gone 1 and
research.
7. No cap.
I mean, they got like 70
I
more
think I went
kills than us, and it was
0-6.
still 4-3. So
That's true,
Yeah.
actually.
we somehow
And it's
managed to
the
like
clock that matters.
barely lose it even still. Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is, but once we got into 5CP, we were feeling like really good.
Yeah, 5CP is
I
judging
just
season.
I did so well. I'm so happy on Metalworks.
Nice, Danny, nice.
I redeemed myself.
It was definitely a big contrast.
Danny, you're not
Just
good at this
stats-wise.
game.
Allegedly, but somehow the championships just keep coming. I don't know. The narrative's not
Danny,
adding
you're
up.
not good. You're not good.
All right, well, congratulations on your guys' victory. I think it's probably time to move over a little bit towards the shout-out phase. Any guys have any shouts before we go ahead and wrap up the stream?
Sure.
Start top to bottom.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Blaze. We did it for you. Couldn't get it last season, but we got it now. Shout out to Skis for helping us learn our weaknesses, and for also making them too cocky, and it was ultimately their downfall. Shout out to Sin Karma for some information that we used to our advantage. Shout out to all of my teammates for playing well. We're gonna have the team talk, but if this is anyone's last hurrah, it's at least nice to have played with them all and go out on top. Hopefully that won't be the case. LAN's coming up. I'd love to keep the squad going. Shout out to you guys for putting on the stream, and everyone for tuning in. Looked like there was a lot of attendance here tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the match. Shout out to everyone who's on the grind, everyone who's practicing, who's inspired by seeing top level play, and they want to be on the RGL stream someday, and they are already prepping for next season. Make sure you guys get your teams together, start thinking about that. Of course, have a nice holiday. We gave you a little early Christmas gift here tonight when the good guys win, but there's always the future, and we need you all to step up. And to shout out to the edgelords, the people that are going through a crisis right now because of justice being served.
Cool.
Just, yeah. Everyone else, take it away.
Any shout outs, Habib?
Yeah, shout outs to you guys, the casters, the producers, killing it as usual. Shout outs to the viewers. GG's to Witness Gaming, man. Y'all are crazy brazy. This is that competition. I love playing this game again because of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Haters, thank you for giving me your energy. I suck that energy out. And you are dry. You are miserable. God bless America. I don't even know what that means. Shout outs to the desert. You dig? Yeah, that's all. I'm burnt out. That's it for me.
Anything from you, Jay?
Shout out to RGL production. Major shout outs to WG for putting up a good fight. I can't wait to see you guys next season if you guys are staying alive. The competition is what I really drive for, so. And my team. Shout out to my team.
Anything from you, May?
Yeah, shout out to the production crew. I love the Jarrett Space Ghost cast. Those are always awesome. You guys always do a really good job here. Shout out to all my mentees throughout the years and all my mentors throughout the years. You know what I mean? You teach and you learn both ways. Shout out to all the people I've played with on teams previously. I'm really happy to have secured a championship title. And yeah, shout out to my team, the GOATs. Nothing else to say.
Mirror Man?
Shoutouts to all my friends. You guys know who you are. Shoutouts to everyone who's been supportive. Shoutouts to the rest of the boys on Froyo, helping carry me through my first win for Invite. Everything else has probably been said at this point. Love you guys.
Anything from you, Space, before we sign off?
Ooh. Yeah, no, shout out to you guys playing a great match. Shout out to Witness Gaming also playing a great match. Yeah, and just shout out to production and just the the RGL season in general was pretty entertaining. It was great to watch.
Yep, definitely shout out to everyone who stuck with us throughout the season and watched all the games. Big shout out to you guys. Final reminder that we mentioned this in the middle of the cast, but new merch for the RGL shop is available. So you can go ahead and check that out. I'm sure Dolphin has a little picture to throw up on the screen of the links and the designs. You can go ahead and check those out and see if you're interested in any of those. But for cast in general, that was the last cast of Season 7. Gonna have to wait and see what Season 8 has in store for us after the holidays are over into the next year. I think the dates probably land like February something. That makes sense. But you can check out the RGL site to get accurate information for the 6th season, for the Highlander season, for whenever 7 happens, and all that jazz. But for tonight, for the year, that will be it for us. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Jarrett, casting with Space Ghost with Dolphin Arm Production. Thank you, and we'll see you next year.